Usually we do a recap of last session, but there is no last session. Recap of last session, just nothing.
We made the turtle. We made a turtle.
Yeah, actually we did have a session 0. So yeah, we did a session 0. We talked about what's going to be happening in this campaign, and we also worked together to create this beautiful character, Wowwox.
It's amazing.
So yeah, I talked to you guys about what this campaign's going to entail, and I did mention that there's this theme where basically it's to do with death and how your characters cannot be resurrected if they die. That's not in effect yet. It's just a normal day on the Sword Coast as far as your characters are concerned. So just wanted to put that out there, and we had a session 0, so hopefully I answered all of your questions that you may have. And does anyone have any further questions before we start? Just anything at all that you can think of? Or...
Well, I mean, if I took the faction agent, what you call Order of the Gauntlet, how far am I actually there? Like, I'm like the grunt, right?
You'd have a few renown. Did you choose faction agent?
Yep.
Okay. I'll work with you to give you a ranking and whatnot. It's not going to be too relevant for today's session, but you'll start with a few renown, so you'll be sort of ranked up a bit higher with the Order of the Gauntlet. But I'll work that in for next session to sort of tie that in, key that in with the campaign. You'll meet a contact from the Order of the Gauntlet. So all right, let's get into it. So as you guys know, this campaign is set in the Forgotten Realms in Faerun, and we're going to be starting the campaign actually in Baldur's Gate. So it's a bit of a rough and tumble city. It's you're very likely to run into some sort of trouble on a regular basis in Baldur's Gate. There are rats that infest the lower city, while the patriarchs look down on those below from the upper city, patriarchs being the nobles of Baldur's Gate. Murder is very common, and the taverns are dangerous. However, all walks of life are openly accepted in Baldur's Gate. And this is a map of Baldur's Gate here. You've got... Oh, we don't need that party token. That's from a different campaign. So we've got the lower city here, and then we've got the upper city up here. So lower city is like the where all the common folk live. Upper city is where the patriarchs live. There's a big disparity between the actual, the architecture of the buildings, the way the streets are cleaned, and Flaming Fist patrol the lower city, while the Watch patrol the upper city. They're the sort of the police force within the city. And then you have the outer city as well, which is can be quite lawless. Here's another map of Baldur's Gate. This campaign, it doesn't really center around Baldur's Gate, but here's a nice map with some popular locales. You guys are in the lower city, and you're going to be starting off actually in the Elfsong Tavern, because why not start off in a tavern? You've all come to the Elfsong Tavern for different reasons, and we're going to go through those reasons now. We'll see what motivates your characters. Elfsong Tavern is here. It's in the lower city. It's a very popular tavern, and it gets its name because of a beautiful elf song that will play. It's supposedly the spirit of a dead elf who yearns for her lost lover, and people come to the tavern to relax, have a drink, try not to get stabbed, and listen to her beautiful elf song. So we're going to go straight over to the tavern. This is the Elfsong Tavern, and you guys have all walked in just about at the same time. It's a 2-story building. It's a wooden edifice, and all the buildings are Baldur's Gates. They have, like in the lower city, they have the same sort of appearance. They're wooden buildings with they're sort of got these almost Victorian style roofs and faces to the buildings. So you've stood into the tap room and pretty much bumped into each other at the entrance and all walked in at the same time. Most of you have never met, but there is one particular person that ties you all together, and that is Wowwox. I've written you all a personal quest, and we're going to go through them one at a time. I'll read them out. This will tie you guys into what's happening now, so what you're doing is relevant to what's going on, so you're not just like left with no sort of a context. And it'll also inform the other players as to what your character's about or what they're doing. And then after that, actually before we get into those quests, let's just do character introductions. Presume that your characters have met, and or you will meet when you meet up with Wowwox here, and you've introduced yourself. And if you want to say anything about your character, you can say your entire backstory, you can say a few words, or you can just make something up, a lie, perhaps if you're a charlatan. Also a description of your character, get your race and class in there as well. And after we've done introducing our 4 characters, we'll go over those quests. So that'll also give the quest a bit more context. And we'll start off with Orion, if you don't mind.
Okay, pressure's on. Hi, I'm Orion.
Wrong. No, I'm joking.
Orion is a kind of shortish, a little under 6 foot, black hair, blue eyes. He is an Uthgardt barbarian. He's dressed all in furs, very stocky, extraordinarily hairy. He looks human-ish, just a very, very human little lupine. He's a shifter. He is notably uncomfortable. This is his first time in a major city, and he kind of hightails it over to Wowwox because he's kind of one of the only person he recognizes in this strange land.
As you step into the Elf Song Tavern, you notice it's very empty. It is dead in here. There is only 2 patrons. You see this masked lady sitting in one of the private booths towards the southwest corner of the edifice, and Wowwox sitting at one of these round wooden tables, and then the bartender. Other than that, it's dead quiet in here. Strange.
Good.
All right, and Talum.
Talum is kind of tall. He's like 6'8". Has, well, a distinguishable feature that his eyes are completely pale white, without, devoid of the ichor, what it's called. Pupils. And he's covered in somewhat, chainmail. Looks pretty pale as well, brown hair. But other than that, he looks pretty tough. He's a Samara paladin.
Okay, and Petra.
Alright, so Petra is a human sorceress. Petra pretty much wears the blue hood robe. She stands at 5'7", very slender frame, hourglass frame, platinum blonde hair, pretty much up to her shoulders. And she's lived in Baldur's Gate since she was little. So pretty much she already knows what Baldur's Gate is about. And even though she's lived in Baldur's Gate, it hasn't brought her spirits down. She's very cheerful still. And pretty much that's what I can think of right now.
That's good. Alrighty, and Is it Crabendor or Calendor?
It's well, of course, Crabendor was for the picture, but I've changed it. I just don't think it's updated.
Okay.
The thing yet.
All right. You can be
But,
Crabendor for now. You're a man of many names. I just picked this generic artwork for you, but you can change it if you don't like it.
Well, Crabendor, appearance pending, is a human rogue, and he comes from the streets of Baldur's Gate. So, he's quite familiar with the city, with all its, mainly with all of its seediness. He comes from a very bad part of the city, and yeah, appearance still pending.
Comes from a bad part of the city, so he comes from anywhere in Baldur's Gate.
Generic thief icon pending.
Alright, so you've all entered the Elfsong Tavern, and you're all here for a different reason. Let's go over those reasons. We'll start off with Crabendor. After being seduced by Wowwoks in the Three Old Kegs Tavern in the Upper City multiple times, you began to expand your list of contacts, which in turn led you to be invited to the Guild, a thieves guild in Baldur's Gate. The current leader and underseller kingpin, Nine Fingers King, has recently got you onto a new job. So Nine Fingers, she resides in Undercellar, which is a sprawling underground sewer slash cellar slash labyrinth in which the guild operate underneath the city streets. She's called Nine Fingers King because, well, she's missing a finger. Or does she have an extra finger? I'm not sure. Because 4 fingers and a thumb. Anyway, she's pretty plain faced. She's got one of those sort of look like everyone sort of faces, and that's helped her out many times. She's recently become the leader of the guild. And you've just been assigned a new mission, Crabendor, as you've recently joined the guild. And it's to pose as an intrepid adventurer and accept a mission to destroy an artifact known as the Orb of the Undead. And your contact for the mission happens to be Wowwoks. And they're waiting for you in the Elfsong Tavern. So, yeah, you're on a mission to destroy an artifact. The job's paying 100 gold pieces. It's also a bit of a test for you. Talum. Your whole life, you have trained to combat evil. You learned of wars where demons and devils relentlessly combat each other, plagues that have seen the innocent swarmed and killed by undead, and even cataclysms where gods have died. These have only ever been stories, yet you have trained every day as a way of being. Your divine leader Paylor has finally come to you. Paylor has told you of a dark prophecy to come that will afflict mortals, cost countless lives, and destroy the souls of the innocent. Perhaps this is a test, or your destiny. You've been granted a mortal coil as a test of your own civility and integrity, and you've been sent to the Forgotten Realms, where it has been told that you cannot avoid your destiny and the events to come. And it all starts with a simple job that you've seen posted on a wall in the lower city of Baldur's Gate by some patriarch. 100 gold pieces to destroy some supposedly glass orb. Easy money, right?
Makes sense. I mean, considering my intelligence, definitely saw a job that's easy money.
Smash glass. Good money. Alright,
Manga,
Petra.
manga.
So, Crabendor doesn't know this, but you've actually been sort of sent for a reason that is intertwined with his. Vying for a promotion as kingpin of the lower city is no easy task. Many have killed and many will continue to kill for that position. With it holds great power, and you must be cunning, swift, and always be 9 steps ahead of the game. Working with 9 Fingers, a newly appointed guild boss, you've been working your way up the ranks of the guild. 9 Fingers is a lot nicer than the former beholder Xantum that ruled the guild, and you've built a healthy relationship with her. Today is the day for your big promotion. 9 Fingers has given you a special task, to pose as an adventurer and accept a mission to destroy an artifact called the Orb of the Undead. You are to take the orb after incapacitating it and steal it away to Undercellar. 9 Fingers promises that the guild will be nigh unstoppable with the undead army that it can create, and with you by her side as her general. As part of your test, you've been given an underling, a new recruit that has proven himself to be capable. His name is Krabendor. So he doesn't know that you're a part of the guild. You're sort of undercover, and you've been sent to monitor him and his performance, and hopefully protect him if he's about to get killed, or maybe you just let him get killed, and that's a failure.
Okay.
And finally, Orion. Orion, being shunned by the civilized folk is a part of your way of life. Eating your fellow tribesmen, however, really crosses some lines. You escaped the madness that had befallen your tribe and soon found yourself alone. You knew nothing of the outside world. Uthgard barbarians have always stayed within their territories, but today you have strayed. Your only contact outside the tribe is Wauwaks. Wauwaks told of a city some many hills to the west called Baldur's Gate. Wauwaks gave you some coins and said that you can use them to enter the city if you ever needed to. With nowhere else to go, you travel to the Elfsong Tavern to find Wauwaks. To your surprise, you are neither shunned nor heckled by the common folk of the city. Perhaps the rumors of these civilized folk were a lie, thought up by the minds of the corrupted and misguided tribal leaders. After talking to Wauwaks, you learned something that could explain why your tribe had been driven to madness. An evil artifact is said to exist within your tribe's sacred grounds. Could this be the reason why your people had been twisted to insanity? You must find out exactly what happened there. You sign up for a mission that will take you back to your home to destroy this evil artifact known as the Orb of the Undead. Alright, so you guys have all come here for different reasons, and you're here to meet with Wauwaks, who is the one who discovered this job poster. It was just pasted on the wall outside the Elfsong Tavern, and a patriarch is offering 100 gold pieces each to find and destroy this artifact. You'll travel down the river Kyanthar to the east. You get on a small boat that will take you there, and you'll then infiltrate this dungeon where the orb is and take it out. So you've all come in and met with Wauwaks, and let's describe Wauwaks. So we created this character together. Wauwaks is a turtle bard that is 45 years old, is tiny but 6 foot high, weighs 50 pounds, has RGB eyes, black skin, and pink fur, and is a bard. So
It's a monster.
we created this character because you all love Wauwaks, and Wauwaks ties you all together somehow, even if it's just a quest giver, someone who had discovered this poster and is looking for some help to complete this quest. So Wowwox just seems quite pleased as you guys enter. Hi! Says Wowwox, and comes over to Crabendor, and this gangly, strange-looking creature. You're not sure if it was this is how turtles are supposed to look, or if it was some horrible transmutation spell gone wrong. But this creature looks just unreal. And Wowwox comes over and gives Crabendor a big hug. Oh, you finally came! Oh, Orion! You're here too! Oh, and others! You have heard of the posting? Wowwox says to Talum and Petra.
Yeah. Did actually a fiend don't order the request? Well, I mean, what exactly are you?
What am I? I'm Wowwox. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm a purveyor of fine seductions, and an all-round groupie.
The angels never really told me about a creature of your appearance. Well, intriguing, to say the least.
My appearance? What's wrong with my appearance?
Oh, nothing, carry on.
The gods, they are the ones who made me, and I accept what I am.
You're beautiful just the way you are.
I thank you. So, supposed to be meeting this patriarch here? The one that had this poster! And Wowwox has this piece of paper in.
Oh yeah, I have one of these as well.
And yeah, it's just a simple poster saying they're looking for adventurers, paying 100 gold pieces to destroy this orb. And as you're standing around, you like Wowwox's voice just sort of booms throughout the tap room. You can see stairs leading up to the second floor, several private booths lining the walls, a kitchen out the back, and the one bartender is a woman named Aelith Elendara, and she comes over, and she comes to the table. Welcome to the Elsong Tavern. I'm Aelith Elendara. What can I get you? I'll pay for these! Wowwox yells out, and Wowwox's gangly body saunters over to Aelith. 5 drinks! Love drinks! So you want some Flamebeard's fire brandy, I guess? Yeah! And, a shot of worm whistle in there? Yeah! That's good. Alright. I've just got to go change over one of the kegs. I'll be right back. And she walks out the back into the kitchen.
Would I actually know what the hell is going on? Like, what kind of monstrosity of a drink did he just order?
It's pretty much like an elven maid mixed with a dwarven ale. It's just as much of a monstrosity as Wowwox is. And, one of these like skeletally thin gangly arms, Wowwox slides a chair back and sits down at the table and puts these 2 long arms out and just smiles at you all with its turtley face. Exciting, hey?
Yes, there are many people here. A lot of noise and commotion.
Really? I don't see anyone. It's like there's one lady over there, and it's really quiet. Did you hit your head, Orion?
I meant more about the city and the street outside, but yeah.
Oh! Yeah.
Here's fine.
Well, perhaps you can tell us more about this this quest.
100 gold? We go down a river, and we smash an orb called the Orb of the Undead. Easy.
Where's the orb? What is it? What does it look like?
Round, spherical.
Okay.
We have these things called orbs here in the city.
All right. Yeah. No, I got that.
It's like a round. It's like a ball. Do you have balls?
Okay. Yes. Can you? How about the color? You know the color of it, maybe.
Undead color.
Great. I assume black.
Let's get back to the whole balls thing. So, you have balls. I would like to see them.
I appreciate the interest, but maybe another time, huh?
No, I think we should see them now. And then suddenly, you guys start to hear windows smashing
Thank God.
all around you. And some people start to crawl through the windows. You see multiple people, their flesh pockmarked. The stench of rotten undeath fills the air, and you hear moans. Zombies. One of them smashes through a window in a small booth right near you all. Climbing through, it sort of falls down near the table. You hear a door burst open. To the northwest, a zombie comes sauntering down the stairs from above. Another zombie smashes through a window to the east. 2 lifeless corpses, their entrails exposed, their flesh riddled with maggots, their teeth yellowed or missing. And another one just casually opens a door to the east.
Such a polite zombie.
They just burst into the tavern from all around you. You seem surrounded. There are so many zombies. And they just come in. They are wrapped in some sort of bandages. Their flesh is so dried and twisted tightly close to their bones that they almost appear like skeletons. Their eyes are lifeless, 2 white ovoid dots. They murmur "Urgh!" as the ones that smash through the window, they begin to bring themselves to their feet. They're actually prone though. And Wowwux quickly draws a rapier and says, "We're under attack!" And we'll roll initiative.
Oh, I thought this was just a normal thing in Baldur's Gate.
Not zombies!
Well, I mean, he opened politely a door, so...
Alright, you guys spring to action. Zombies have come in all around you, and this is not normal. There is something seriously wrong with this situation. You know that there are undead that fill there are dead that fill the gutters and the alleyways of Baldur's Gate, but not ones that get back up after they've been stabbed. Orion, you're up first.
Alright. I will rage. It's a bonus action. And then run over to the very polite zombie that opened the door. And it's still prone?
This one is not prone. Only the ones that smash through the windows are prone.
Then I will stab the polite zombie with my rapier.
That is a direct hit. The zombie makes no attempt to dodge out of the way. He just stumbles forward and you drive the rapier straight into his torso. You pull it out and black blood spews forth and drips down onto the taproom floor. And he keeps on coming.
Doesn't look like I can end my turn.
They're in the purple chat box. I forgot to make an EOT button. Actually, I'll make one of those now. It only takes 2 seconds. The little pink EOT button in your chat box will do the same thing.
I guess I'm just spoiled from always having that. I do not see it.
In the chat
Oh,
box.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm smart.
And then I just made a button too for you.
Thank you.
Alright, a zombie seems to clamber through a storeroom, murmuring as it pushes forth, and it reaches Petra, and it sort of falls forward trying to grab her as it does. And it misses. It just stumbles forward and you jump back, Petra. Tell him.
Well, this is quite an adventurous tavern. Alright. I take off my trusty old warhammer and try to smash its head in.
That's a hit.
Oh.
Alright, you aim
Oh,
for
this is definitely not slashing though.
Okay. You aim for its head, but you end up hitting it in the shoulder, and it just knocks it back a little bit. You hear a bit of a crunch, and some of its soft, rotten flesh gets a bit mushed up on the end of your warhammer, and this foul stench just wafts out from the injury.
And I turn my head to Petra. Are you a caster?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I'm gonna provoke an attack of opportunity.
When you move back, the zombie sort of stumbles forward and tries to grab you, Talum. And it's a miss.
Not much I can do on level 1.
Alright, this zombie that had smashed through a window to the east, it stands up. And it pushes a couple of chairs out of the way as it gets to its feet. And there is obviously a table in the way here, but the zombie, it just does not register that. And it just pushes forward. It pretty much climbs over the table, knocks over a couple more chairs, and lands on the other side of the table, taking the dash action. This zombie, it pushes open the door that was sort of half closed at the entrance, and it too walks forward, and it literally just crawls on the table. And as it's crawling across the table, it knocks over an ashtray and a few mugs that just fall onto the ground, and it tries to grab at you, Kalendor, at disadvantage. And it's a narrow miss. Another zombie. It brings itself to its feet, pushes forward, knocks over a chair, tries to grab Talum. Miss. Another zombie. They're everywhere. This one, it just tries to attack you through the wall of the stairwell here, Orion. So you've got half cover. Tries to grab at you, and luckily it misses. You sort of step to the side, and it just reaches out. Its gangly, rotten fingers just they miss you by about 3 inches. Crabendor.
I will attack the one by my feet.
Alright, you have advantage. And good thing you do. As it comes forward, you pull your rapier out and you just stab it straight through the neck. It bursts straight through its undead flesh, and the tip of your rapier actually sticks into the table, temporarily pinning it. It then just drives its neck back and like rips a big chunk of the flesh from the side of its neck away, and its flesh just falls off like just like a chunk of well-cooked meat from the bone. And this, even with the zombie's like gizzard or neck just like ripped out, esophagus ripped out, it's still just coming at you. Any movement?
Yeah, there.
Alright, the zombie will try to grab you as you move away, and he's just too slow. He just scratches at the backrest of the chair. Alright, the zombie steps down from above, coming to the bottom of the stairs. He falls towards Orion and misses. Alright, Wowwox springs to action, drawing a rapier, and sort of yells out to Orion. You can do this, Orion! I believe in you! And gives you a bardic inspiration.
Thanks, buddy.
And then just comes in at this zombie and tries to... Actually, I said rapier, but Wowwox only has a dagger. Tries to just drive the dagger into the zombie's neck. Ah! And direct hit straight into the zombie's neck. As the dagger is pulled out, black blood spews forth all over the bar. And the zombie's still alive. Petra.
Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is going to disengage.
You don't need to disengage because he already has.
Oh, he already used his action? Okay, so then I'm just going to move. Yeah, I'm going to move then. 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. And I will blast this one with an Eldritch Blast.
That's a hit. With the spell there, you don't need the description in the attack. It just sort of gonna clog up the chat. You can take that off.
No problem.
That's a direct hit, and the beam just cuts a hole straight through the zombie, and out the back of it, and the zombie. You can clearly see the like a spilt flagon of ale through the hole in the zombie's torso on the other side of it, but it's still alive. And the zombie pushes forward, and you also notice this lady in the corner. She wears a white mask. She is dressed like a wizard. She's got a very fancy robe on, and the interior of the robe, it sparkles with what looks like a night sky. And she very calmly just sort of sits and does nothing throughout this event. And the zombie comes forward and it almost ignores her. It comes straight up to Talum, and it moves quite quickly, ambles up, and you just push it back. Talum, it's a miss. Orion.
Bonus action, I will shift, so I'll become more bestial and more akin to a werewolf. So I get some temp HP, I'll roll, and a +1 to AC for the next minute.
When that happens, Wowwox does this. Oh my god! I love a hairy man!
Okay. And then I'll attack the already injured zombie.
Just remember, you created this, not me. Alright, that is a hit. You drive the rapier into the zombie as hard as you can. And you stick it through the eye socket. The rapier bursts out the back of its head. You pull the rapier out, and blood spurts out. Its eye is just hanging from a tendon and still alive.
Uh-oh.
The zombie tries to grab Wowwox, and it does. It grabs Wowwox and just slams her against the bar.
That's a woman?
It's a gender neutral turtle. Talum.
Oh boy.
I'll be whatever you want me to be, says Wawa.
Nope. Nope.
Oh hell. Yeah. This one's standing or not?
Yep, the only one that's prone is this one here with a little icon.
You know what? I feel like this is a better choice to do. I'll dodge as my action. And, well, yeah. Provoke an attack of opportunity from the one there and just stand in the middle and hope I don't die.
Alright, it was coming in directly with a sharp claw. And do you wield like a shield, Talon?
Yep.
You hold up the shield as you move back, and the claw just scratches against that.
Oh boy. Quite the adventurous.
As you step forward, you look over your shoulder and you see zombies coming at you from all angles, surrounding you. This one comes up, but you push it back. This one, it doesn't even get up off the table. It just lays on the table, belly down, and just claws towards you, Talon. And you quickly spin around and just smack its hands away with your shield. This one comes forward. It too surrounds you. And it's a narrow miss. It almost grabs you. And you're just jumping from side to side, just using your shield, just like a pinball machine. The zombie comes around the corner to get a bit closer to you. Orion tries to attack you. And misses. Crabendor.
And of course attacking the one just below me.
Alright, you come over, and did you want to like slide across the bar?
Yes, I reckon I can do it.
Alright, make an acrobatics check. Alright, the only thing that really did was impress Wowwox, but that you did. Oh, Crabendor! The way you slide across that bar reminds me of you sliding into something else!
Oh god.
As long as I'm impressed, I'm happy.
Alright, yeah, you like, you see like a little maze of flagons lined up on the bar, Crabendor, and you sort of slide across the bar on your feet, dodging this little obstacle course. You jump down and you land on the zombie rapier first, straight into its head. And it like knocks the zombie back against the wall, punctures like straight through its eye socket. You pin it to the back of that wall there. You pull the rapier out, expecting it to fall to the ground, but instead it just keeps on coming.
And they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming.
Extra damage for style points.
Alright, as the zombies have moved in, they just pretty much surround their prey and try to rip them into pieces. And this one grabs you, Orion, and it just knocks you up against the wall, and you take 1 bludgeoning damage because you're resistant, right?
Yep.
Okay. You don't even really feel that attack. Alright, Wowwox is going to sort of yell out, "Ah! Oh, Crabendor, you have inspired me!" And is going to just try and stab that zombie as well with a dagger. But just swoons over Crabendor too much and misses completely. Petra.
Right. I'm gonna try to finish off the zombie so Talon could get possibly more help. I'm gonna shoot it with an Eldritch Blast.
That is a hit. Alright, you fire a beam into it, and you puncture a hole straight through its chest. Still does not go down. Alright, the zombies just start to... They keep on attacking Talon at disadvantage, and that's a miss. Orion.
Alright. I'll use the Bardic if it misses here.
That is a direct hit. Alright, you just grab the rapier with both hands and use all of your might to thrust it deep into the zombie's chest. And it does not go down. These things, they have this, I don't know how you describe it, an undead fortitude.
How creative.
And this zombie just starts, it continues to attack Wowbox. Keeps on trying to just rip her to shreds and grabs a tuft of her pink fur and rips it off. Talon.
You cannot take that shoe off me. That shoe is standing there until at least a couple of them go down.
Okay, you continue dodging as 4 of them surround you, and you keep on fending them off. This one doesn't even get up, it keeps on attacking you, and you fend off multiple zombies at once. They all miss. The one that you just thought you'd killed, Orion, it comes at you, and it misses you. Crabendor.
I got it this time.
Alright, you just go for its weak points. So you're sort of running out of weak points, so you just stab it in its other eye. And it still does not go down.
God.
The zombie attacks Orion and misses. Wowbox is going to try the dagger again. And she just jumps on the zombie, wraps her gangly legs around its torso, pulls out a dagger and just starts sawing its head off. And rips the head clean off, and then holds it up and throws it across the bar.
That's hot.
And then jumps the bar as well. And she's going to just grab a half-full flagon that's sitting there and just down it. And then winks at Crabendor. And that wink will actually be a bardic wink.
I'll move over one and I will acid splash these two.
Nice.
Alright, the zombies are quite slow, and only a little bit of acid ends up getting on them though. It was sort of off target, and you hear a bit of a hiss as it burns a little chunk of their flesh away. Zombies here keep doing their thing.
That's insane. That's ridiculous.
Well, there goes my first character, I think.
Alright, as you're dodging all of these zombies, Talon, you're finding yourself getting a bit overwhelmed, and because there's just so many of them. And this one just grabs you and just like takes a bite out of the back of your neck, rips out a big chunk, and you're just bleeding quite badly. A big lick of blood just starts sort of roiling down your armor. Orion.
Tag me in, please.
I'm coming. Just give me like 3 more turns. I will add the Bardic for that one. Is it a D6?
Yeah. You look over and see Wowwax downing that flag, and it just fills you with the extra strength needed to hit. That is a hit with an 8.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
You just don't know how to kill this thing, so you just roar and hit it as hard as you can with the rapier, and it's like a pincushion.
Die!
Wowwax yells, "You have to cut the head off!"
Thanks, buddy.
Talum.
Well, I already have my second character ready, so dodging it is.
Okay. Alright, there's not much to break your defense, Talum. And you continue to hold off the horde. So they attack you at disadvantage. 3 of them miss. 1 of them barely. And the zombie that you just hit, Orion, it attacks you back. And it just pushes you into the other zombie, and they both dig their claws into you. You take 3 bludgeoning damage. Crapendor.
I really don't want to get into the mess that's happening down there. But here I am anyway.
How brave.
That's a hit, and you drive the rapier into the zombie's back, puncturing a hole straight through it. Alright, the zombies continue to do their thing. There's not much to them. They're very mindless, and they keep on just relentlessly attacking. That's a miss. Wowwax is going to see that Talum has part of his neck missing and yell out to you, "Hang in there! I need you! For money!" And then cast a healing word on you, Talum. This, as Wowwax speaks, this green wind comes out of its mouth and surrounds you and seals your wound slightly.
Is that a mouth fart?
And then, as an action, is going to jump the bar here and throw their dagger at this zombie. Direct hit. Sticks into the zombie, and just now that zombie has a dagger sticking out the back of its neck. It doesn't die. Shit!
Can I reroll my character as a zombie?
If you lose this fight, yes. Alright,
So, yeah.
Petro.
So yeah, I'm gonna try the same thing. Acid splash both of these.
Okay, the zombies are very, very slow. And more acid drips down on them. Smoke rises up from their undead flesh as it gets melted away. And they keep on attacking. That's a miss. Orion.
This time for sure, this one zombie is going down. Okay?
Hit. And it's still up.
Damn it.
How freaking hard is this? Okay, well, I mean, I've been doing a good job. I'll pat myself on the back as interact with the object and keep on dodging.
Wowwax yells, "You're a holy man! Do some holy stuff!"
Not too holy yet.
No, I mean, like, you've got a hole missing from your neck!
Oh.
Shit. Zombies keep on coming at you, Talum, and you hold off the horde some more. Even with you coming in and stabbing this one in the back, Calendor, it ignores you and continues to attack Talum. And misses. And then this one attacks Orion. and it scratches you for another 3 damage, Orion. Krabendor. Alright, you just drive the rapier straight down vertically on top of the zombie's head, just bursting through its head, its neck, and into its chest. And that kills it. It collapses to the ground.
Collapse.
Jesus.
Right, the zombie attacks Orion, and they are starting to do a little bit of damage to you, Orion. You hit for another 2 damage. Wowox is going to just pull out another dagger and come in behind that zombie that you're fighting, Orion, and try to stab it in the back of the head. Wowox hits, and
Oh my god.
the zombie does not go down. It's just, there's not much left of the zombie too. It's just being ripped into shreds, but it's still moving. Petra.
Okay, so I'm gonna try the same thing on these two then. Acid splash.
Alright, the closer one to you, it inadvertently moves out of the way, and all of the acid sprays down on this one. And that zombie is starting to look more like a skeleton. It's got a lot of its flesh ripped away. Zombie attacks Talum at disadvantage and misses. Whoops, did not mean to do that. I skipped twice. Orion, you're up. And that is a miss. Maybe
I'm hurting.
Wowox is a little bit distracting for you.
Stupid sexy Wowox.
Talum.
Well, that's least. At least there's one zombie less to deal with, and then I just make a little bit space for the saviors to come. Look at this guy. Fuck you. And keep on dodging.
Oh, yeah, they're just sitting there watching. They're not doing anything. Zombie tries to attack you, Talum, and misses. And another one misses. And this one will continue to attack Orion. And that misses. Krabendor. You skirt around on the behind the zombie, and as it's still just crawling on the table, you stab it, and you stab it like straight in the head, and it just sort of twists its body to the side. Its head just is still stuck to the rapier and dislodged from its neck, and it's still just coming at Talon with no head.
These zombies. These fucking.
This is at Orion. It's a miss. Wowox just goes into rage mode. Ah! Just keeps on stabbing the zombie over and over and over and over again, but just does nothing. Petra.
Right. So again, I'm acid splashing these two. Hopefully, I kill one.
Alright, this time it's a big blob of acid, but the one crawling on the table, its head gets dislodged, so it just sort of melts away its head, and it misses the actual zombie.
He's still prone, though.
Yeah, prone doesn't affect dexterity saves.
I thought it.
This one, it just, a big lick of acid just runs down its back. Alright, the zombies continue. That misses. Orion. You get so frustrated. All right, you just grab the zombie and you just stick your hand into its chest, lift it up off the ground, and then drive your other hand into the bottom of its torso, and then just like Mortal Kombat style, just rip it in two. Its spinal cord and entrails just spurt out everywhere. And it's still alive. No, I'm joking.
Oh.
He actually can't. I think he actually can't save that one.
Yeah, critical hit instantly kills them no matter what. And yeah, you just absolutely like you're so angry, Ryan. You just rip it in two. All right, tell him.
Well, I've been doing just fine like I am now, and I'll keep on keeping on.
Alright, the zombie attacks you, Talum. And this one gets through your defenses. It scratches you across your side for 3 damage. And this one keeps on attacking you, Talum. And it misses. Crabendor. That's another hit. And you finish it off. You just stab it straight through its chest multiple times, and it finally stops moving.
Thank God for that.
This zombie over here attacks Orion, and it grabs you, Orion, bites you on the back of your hand for 3 damage. Wowwox is going to run over here and start putting their hands all over you, Orion.
Okay.
Oh, are you okay? Oh my, you are hairy. And then moves over here, and then looks over, and then comes back and puts its hands all over you again. But this time actually casts a spell. There you go. And you're healed for 8 points.
I feel dirty.
Oh, I can't wait to get out of here. What if we don't? What if we all die here? We must make use of what little time we have left remaining.
I will finally know peace if we both die here.
Wow, moves back. Petra.
I'll move there, and on this one, I'm going to Toll the Dead.
Wisdom save for the zombie, and yeah, it failed, and a heap of its flesh just drips off of the zombie, just revealing rotten bone underneath, and it looks even more undead than it did a second ago. The zombie attacks Talum. They don't really have any strategy. They keep on doing the same thing over and over and over. Orion. That's a hit. Alright. These things are very slow, so you just resort to brute strength. And you just impale it through the chest. Talon.
You know what? I feel like something's coming. So I just pump 5 points of lay on hands on myself. And take this chair as a second shield. On guard.
Alright, the zombie grabs the chair legs and just like rips 2 of them off. And starts chewing on one. Crabendor. And you
Nice.
found their weak point. Their weakness is stab them as many times as you can in quick succession. You do that and you absolutely sunder the zombie. Just ripping through all of its internals.
Just call me zombie killer at this point.
Yeah, and me, zombie shield.
18 points of damage, not bad. The zombie attacks Orion, and their numbers are dwindling. There's only 2 left. That's a miss. Wowwox is going to call out to this zombie and just say, "Hey, you don't hurt my hairy man!" And does a vicious mockery. The zombie just has a bit of a spurt of blood come out the side of its head and murmurs. Petra.
Right, seeing as my last spell was so successful, I'm going to try it on that zombie. Toll the Dead.
Alright, it only takes a scaring of flesh off this one. Zombie, as some of its undead flesh falls off of its form, it continues to attack Talon and misses. Orion. That's a hit. Right, you very aggressively put both hands on the rapier and just try and drive it straight through the zombie's skull, and it just breaks its skull apart and the zombie collapses into a pile on the ground.
That's therapeutic.
Well, I throw that chair on top of him. Well, and while he's distracted, Warhammer time.
That is a miss. The chair gets in the zombie, like, you stick the chair into the zombie and it pretty much acts as a shield, and you just smash the chair over the zombie with the warhammer.
You've given it wooden armor.
Oh shit! These things are more intelligent than they seem.
The chair leg just goes straight through it as well. Like, its flesh is that rotten. Just
A worthy foe.
cabin door. Alright, the zombie killer has arrived. And you stab it. It doesn't quite work. You pull the rapier out and the zombie just... its guts just start to spill out all over the ground. Wowwox calls out, "That's right, cabin door! You get it!" Does a vicious mockery. And the zombie just completely ignores Wowwox this time. Petra.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna try to Toll the Dead again.
And
Completely fail.
the magic is not working against this thing. It's just focused on trying to rip Talon into shreds. And it grabs Talon and it just pushes you towards it. And one of the chair legs, the sharpened spokes of the chair leg, sticks into your gut, Talon, and the searing pain just rivets your system. You're bleeding out everywhere all over the ground. Quite a deep wound. Orion.
I'll throw a javelin at it and then run toward it.
Okay. That's a hit. And you run over. Throw a javelin as you're running over. The javelin sticks into the zombie's shoulder, pins it to the wall. And then the zombie is still just its arms going up and down as it's like pinned to the wall through its shoulder.
Come on.
That's a hit. Alright, you whack it over the side of the head and it just cracks its skull open. Brains splash all against the wall. And the zombie's head
I got one.
goes limp. The javelin that's sticking through it just keeps it propped up, sort of in this standing position.
Never again, please. I need a drink.
Yeah, I pat Talum on the shoulder and say, "Well, good job," and cast healing word on cure wound.
Ooh, whatever it wasn't drink makes me feel brand new again.
Speaking of drink, Aelith has not returned, and out of one of the corners of the room, you start to hear some clapping. And a female's voice congratulates you. Coming from behind the mask. Well done, adventurers. Well done. And the lady appears at the doorway of the booth. You have passed my test. You're all suitable candidates for this mission.
These were your prey? Your hunting dogs?
These creatures are some of what you will face on this mission. I had collected them. They had wandered for many, many miles, making their way towards Baldur's Gate. I have traced their source to an evil artifact known as the Orb of the Undead. And I need a group of suitable adventurers to accompany me on this mission. But I had to be sure that they were capable. So, I arranged for you all to meet here, thanks to WoWox, and I rented out the tavern for the day. Thank you, Aelith. Aelith, she comes to the door. She's looking a little bit sort of weary, but of course, Syndra, you paid the coin. The tavern was yours. Don't worry, I'll get someone to clean up. My name
is Syndra?
is Syndra Sylvain. Pleased to meet you all. She introduces herself. She's got a feminine voice, but her figure doesn't really is not really perceivable as masculine or feminine. Her presence seems to betray her true nature. But she seems obviously like some sort of powerful mage, and she introduces herself and tells you all to take a seat. Please, sit. She just walks over, stepping over one of the zombies, and she just sits down at this table. Aelith comes over and gives you all a free drink. And let me tally up the experience for that encounter. And you guys are all getting an extra 10% experience, and that'll be rounded up. So that's 39 XP for that fight. So, we can leave at first light tomorrow. I've arranged for a riverboat to take us down the River Kyanthar. And she just sort of extends her hand up, and as she does, you can see these wisps of magical energy trail away from her fingers to form what looks like a spectral hand. It reaches into her robe and pulls out a map and gracefully places it across the table. The map seems to unfold magically as well. here we are in Baldur's Gate. The River Kyanthar leads all the way from Baldur's Gate to the sister city of Elturel. But we're not going that far. It'll be a short journey. Oh, this map isn't to scale. It's about 90 miles. It'll be a short journey down the River Kyanthar. A day or two at the most if there are any setbacks. There are some ruins, hidden among the remnants of the ancient civilizations that lived in these parts of a time past. There is an artifact being held underground, known as the Orb of the Undead. This artifact was thought to be destroyed by some fellow adventurers many years ago, but it appears the necromantic energy that was used to create the orb had not died, and it's said that the orb is creating an endless army of undead, raising corpses of those that have fallen from the ground, either as skeletons or zombies. The orb knows no limits. Although I haven't confirmed that this is the orb, my research points to the fact that this could be the only reason why there has been so many undead created in the area. They have been destroyed as they have headed east to Elturel, the companion, the glowing light above the city. It wards undead away from Elturgard. So, they've been pushed west towards Baldur's Gate. Although they haven't quite reached the outer city yet, there have been increased reportings, and the City Watch, they have been doing their very best, working with the Flaming Fist to try and keep this revelation out of the broadsheets of Baldur's mouth. But as a patriarch, I have a vested interest in the safety of the citizens of Baldur's Gate, and also the integrity of the work of the Flaming Fist. So I've decided to preempt these undead, research its source, and nib it in the bud. I only need a small group of adventurers, and I need those that have no particular allegiance to the Flaming Fist or to the City Watch, for my own personal reasons. I myself used to be an adventurer like you all. I have since gone into retirement. However, Wanderlust has brought me out of retirement. All of my adventuring party, they have moved on in one way or another. Sitting at this table in the Elsong Tavern with all of you, it reignites the excitement and thought of adventure. And I know that we will be successful. Get your rest. I have arranged for free accommodations for you all upstairs. We'll leave at first light. Prepare yourselves. It will be a 2-day journey.
Alright. That's fine. When we find this orb, how are we supposed to destroy it? Just smash it, or is there a specific way to destroy it?
The orb is a living creature, like you and I. Although it is not made of flesh, it has a special magic that animates it, much like these zombies. Yes, it can be destroyed with magic or physical attacks. If you hit anything hard enough, it will break. Well, apart from that one time when I faced that lich, that phylactery, it really took a bit of a beating. But that's another story. So, 100 gold each, paid in advance. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Gold is gold.
A worthy quest.
It's some good shit. Sounds good.
Thanks, Warlocks.
Syndra then uses that same mage hand to just take a small pouch off of her belt and place it on the table. And there is exactly 50 platinum pieces in there. 10 for each of you. Add that to your personal goal. Very well. I'll be back in the morning to collect you all. Rest easy for the remainder of your day. Make any preparations you deem necessary. And then she doesn't touch her drink. She just gets up and then she exits the tavern.
Well, that was fun.
Aelith just starts dragging the zombie corpses and putting them in a room for cleanup for later.
Well, my name's Orion. Nice to meet you.
Likewise, my name is Petra. Does a little bow.
Yeah, my name's Talon, but well, although I look human, I'm not from around here, so not really familiar with the local traditions.
Hi, I'm Warlocks, look at me!
And I am Calendar.
That's Calendar there. Me and him, we've been very close, if you know what I mean.
You bedded this monstrosity?
Multiple times.
Would you not?
Probably tonight.
You're a braver man than I am. Hey, so, I've never been here before. I need a shield. Can anybody help me find one?
I can certainly help you find a shield, yes.
I assume they have those here?
Of course. Like any town.
Would you mind showing me where I could buy one?
Sure. I will go ahead and show you around.
Sweet.
Alright, so you have Baldur's Gate at your disposal. You'll be sticking to the lower city. And there is just a market, like a general marketplace in the lower city, sort of sprawled around near the dockside. There is multiple different sorts of shops. And you can pretty much buy anything from the PHB in Baldur's Gate. Any weapons, armor, adventuring equipment. And I'll just go around the table and I'll see what people want to do. We don't really have to role play the buying of the items, but we'll just sort of see what you guys want to get. And I don't have a list of items, but I mean, I'm sure you're all familiar with what items are available in the player's handbook. So yeah, you'll just sort of mill about the lower city. The streets here are very rough and tumble. It's very hilly. There are narrow alleyways, steep steps. There are portions of the city that cross over one another, creating underpasses, overpasses, buildings stacked atop one another. And at night, it's pretty much impossible to navigate the lower city because a very thick fog rolls in and just sort of climbs the hillside all the way up to the threshold of the upper city, which is the upper city sort of over here. So there are multiple taverns, and there is a lot of different marketplaces available. There is one in the upper city as well. You could go to the upper city. You could go to the Wide, which is like a large marketplace. It just costs a small fee of 5 copper pieces to enter. That's where all the nobles live. But you can get anything you need in the lower city too. So yeah, you're all given 10 platinum pieces, and if you want to buy anything, go for it. And we'll just see what everyone wants as well. But yeah, if you want, you can just cross the item. Cross the gold off your character sheet. Add the item from onto your character sheet using the prices from the player's handbook. And you can also buy healing potions as well. They're 50 gold pieces each. All right, Orion, what are you looking for? A shield? Petra takes you just a couple of streets down. And there is just a stall. They're not like a smithy or anything like that. They've just got some wooden tables laid out. It's a very, very crowded street here as well. You're going shoulder to shoulder with people, and they have a number of wooden shields hanging from sort of wooden posts, and these are sort of wooden backings of the market stall. You see like tent covers and a variety of different items. They've all been nailed to these posts to prevent, thieves from just taking advantage of these situations. And a lot of the weapons and that are actually sort of all chained together with these sturdy iron chains. So you buy a shield. And
I need some arrows too. I have a bow.
Yeah, quiver of arrows. You get 20 for 1 gold. No problem.
Great.
I'll give you guys some handouts as well for weapons and armor. And anything else you want to get for preparations for this mission?
Yeah, I'll get a healing potion. That sounds fine.
Okay, healing potion, 50 gold pieces.
Okay. I'm good.
All right, tell him.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely buy one of those healing potions.
Okay. There's a couple of other potions available as well. I'm not sure if you'll really be able to afford them, but at Sorcerer's Sundries, yeah, they have some other ones, but they're like at least 100 gold. So.
Yeah, no thanks.
Okay.
What else?
I added a folder with all of the handouts from the PHP. Weapons and armor are there, and yeah, you can buy adventuring gear and whatever else.
Well, armors and everything are way too expensive. I guess I'll just what do you call it? This terrain around us is mountainy or something.
It's there is a large mountain overlooking Baldur's Gate, but you'll be heading into just pretty much some flat plains. Orion actually is from that area, so he knows the land very well.
Alright, so climber's kit is no need, so...
Yeah, you're not going to be doing any climbing. What it sounds like is you're going to be going into some sort of like dungeon. It's like a ruined keep, going down underneath the ground and finding this orb and destroying it.
Screw it, another healing potion then.
Okay.
Gotta be stocked.
Alright, you grab a couple of healing potions.
And that's it.
Alright, Petra.
Right, so I am going to buy 1 healing potion.
Okay, that's 50 gold.
And I want to buy an extra water skin just in case.
Okay. You're not really expecting to run out of any supplies. You're going to be traveling on a river as well. But yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an extra one.
How much is a water skin again? 1 gold?
I'll take a look. That would be in adventuring gear. Water skin, 2 silver, and it weighs 5 pounds when it's full. And anything else at all?
That would be it for now, yeah.
Okay. And Calendar, you want to buy any supplies?
Yes. I will pick up a healing potion. And I'll exchange my hempen rope for some silk rope. And I'll get a grappling hook.
Okay. Alright, you...
Do you need ammo for lanterns?
For
Like
lantern?
candles and... Yeah, like for candles and stuff.
Ammo?
I don't know what you put in...
It would be oil.
Oil. Yeah, you get oil. You do need oil for it. You can get some oil as well.
And I'll swap out my lantern for a bullseye lantern.
Okay. You get a bullseye lantern. And Wowwox just goes with you, grabbing door. And Wowwox buys a rapier, a short bow, some arrows, and a healing potion. Just a few supplies. Alright, with that, you guys start to see the sun disappear behind the horizon. The thick fog is starting to fill the streets of the lower city, and you're not really safe in safer in the tavern, but there is a number of patrons that have sort of filled the tavern when you get back. So you just go to your rooms. They're all provided for you by Syndra, and you guys can all take a long rest, get all your health back and whatnot, any spells that you used. And the next morning, Syndra, she comes and meets you guys out the front of the Elfsong Tavern. How did you sleep last night, adventurers? She says.
Even at night, it's loud here.
I slept like a baby.
Well, as a wise man once said, the taverns of Baldur's Gate, well, spending time in one can be quite hard for the stomach, especially when you find a dagger in one. I mean, your stomach, that is. Don't worry about that. Okay, I have our vessel waiting for us down at the docks. Have you prepared?
I'm ready.
I believe I have everything that's needed.
Let's do this shit! Very well then. We can relax for the next couple of days and enjoy traversing down the Kyanthar River. I'll be in my private room if you need me. You're all to stay in the main deck. And you head down to the docks, and there's just a small barge waiting for you guys. It's not an elaborate ship by any means. It's quite a simple setup. It's more like just a flat plane of wood. Kind of like a kill boat. It's got a step down mast and some oars, and there are just a couple of commoners just rowing the boat for you guys. You head out down the river Kyanthar heading east. You pass underneath Worm's Crossing, which is this pillar of rock with like a keep on it, and then a bridge connecting Baldur's Gate to the roads to the south. You head underneath, the commoners pay the toll, and then you just cruise down the river Kyanthar. You head down there for a full day and a half, and you can just see these sort of barren landscapes. The grass is quite green and lush. It's slightly hilly, and you just see a few herd of elk frolicking by. You don't have any trouble with any creatures whatsoever. You see a few ruins here and there, some remnants of some past civilization, and then the ruins, they start to become more frequent. You see just like the skeleton of a building, some crumbling bits of stone, and it's a bit of nice scenery. Makes you wonder how ancient these edifices are. And that's when you start to see undead. First, there's one or two. They're a few hundred feet away. And then there's 3 or 4. Just zombies. They're aimlessly wandering towards Baldur's Gate. Syndra comes out when she sees that and tells you all, leave them. The Flaming Fist will do their job. They will rout the undead when they get within the grounds of Baldur's Gate. We need to stay focused on our task ahead, for it is more important. And then you see quite a lot of zombies, dozens of them, like pack animals. They're in groups, 5 or 10, just aimlessly, very slowly moving to the west. And then Syndra, she just speaks to the people rowing the boat and tells them to stop. And she turns to all of you. We go from foot. From here, we go by foot. We're getting close. I do not want to jeopardize the lives of these good folk that have brought us this far. And you've just headed down a little tributary of the River Kyanthar. And the river is like 20 feet wide at some times. It's wider at times. It's narrower at times. And it's just, it's sort of, you're going against the current. The common folk have been working quite well. They're not really too interesting. They're just very humble. And Syndra seems to treat them quite well. And she gives them nice fruit, some tropical fruit, of the likes of which you've never seen. Mangoes, lychees, sapodi, all sorts of tropical fruit.
Can I make a general insight check on her to see if she's putting on a show or if she's actually cares about the people?
Of course. She's a bit hard to read behind the mask, but as far as you can tell, she has good intents. She doesn't really talk to you guys on a personal level either. It's strictly business. She's kind of distant, standoffish, but has a confidence about her. Only talks about the mission. It's just past midday on the second day of travel now, and you've got off the barge. The common folk, they've been told to stay in a little portal. Syndra just traces this archway with her finger, and you can see just a blue glowing arch, about 8 feet tall. Step into there. Inside you'll find accommodations, food, and everything you need for your comfort. You'll be able to see through the portal via a magic window. We will come to this location when we have returned from our mission. Only then shall you emerge. And the 2 common folk thank her, and they step through this magical portal after camouflaging the barge with some nearby palm fronds. And then you guys head off by foot. As you're moving by, you avoid as many zombies as possible. And something is starting to hit home with you, Orion. This is pretty much your home territory. Like all of these lands around you. As you look around, you can see miles in every direction. Green fields, pastures, crops of trees, and popular hunting grounds for your people. You'd come to a tributary of the river to collect water. You'd hunt those elk. You'd live off the land. You'd chop those trees for firewood. And you're very familiar with this territory. In fact, you're coming quite close to one of your old camps. And up ahead, you actually you see a couple of your old tribesmen. They're just sitting around a camp. They seem to be just, yeah. They seem to be fine. 3 of them sitting around a fire. and you see a stone bridge passing the river. This very bridge that these ancient civilized people had built, but your people would use every day just to cross the river. There are a couple of tents set up. Your tribe are sort of nomadic. They would be moving, set up tents and new camps here and there. And there is a small wooden palisade that your people had built. And then there is a small cliff where you'd have this like makeshift ballista set up. And if any large predators would come by, you guys would just completely destroy them with these massive ballista bolts. And there is a big pile of firewood that your people had chopped. And there is this abandoned keep nearby, but it was sort of taboo for your people to like enter this building. Apparently it's sacred, and it's just like an abandoned keep. The walls are crumbling. The door has been completely sundered off its hinges. It's just wide open, and there is a set of stairs leading down. You even see a small wooden rowing boat parked up near the river that your people would use, and you start heading over to greet your fellow tribesmen, Orion, to see perhaps if they are not the murderous cannibals that you'd once known. And when you get close, you realize they're not really moving around too much. There's something wrong with them. They have this presence about them that just screams death. As you move in with Syndra in tow, they all start to stand up and turn towards you. Their raggedy hides, ripped and torn, their faces scarred, and their flesh rotten. They are zombies.
Our worst enemy.
You guys are moving quite quickly, like you're sort of running. Around you, to the north, to the south, and to the west, there are hundreds of zombies. You've managed to avoid any sort of encounter thus far. Syndra points to the northeast, and beyond a small rocky bluff, you see the keep. There! That is where the orb is. Is there something the matter, Orion?
This isn't right. There's something wrong.
Incoming! The zombies start to make their way towards you all. We're not going to be able to avoid these ones. Let's roll initiative. What? What the fuck is initiative? It appears that the API is shut down.
Oh no. Whatever will we do? Without initiative, turns will be random.
Alright, yeah, you recognize these tribesmen, Orion. They're people that you grew up with. You hunted together, you lived together. Drunk from the same flagons. Now, there's no semblance of their former life. Alright, Crabendor, you're up.
I'm attacking that one there.
It's a hit. The arrow sticks in to its torso. Syndra points her finger at this zombie, and a massive explosion of fire just with a loud bang just explodes from her fingertip. And she misses and hits a nearby tree, and the tree just explodes. Sparks go flying near the air, and a massive oak tree just falls down, crashes to the ground. She looks at you all. As I said, I've just come out of retirement. Tell him.
So we're just booking it, or?
We need to clear these ones out. We don't want them coming up behind us.
Yeah. Well. I stretch a little bit. Yep, dodge.
Syndra looks at the rest of the party. I really didn't think he was going to keep on doing this.
Don't worry, he knows what he's doing.
This zombie moves forward and just sort of squeezes in between this tree and the other zombie. Just sort of trampling forward. Attacks at disadvantage. Misses. Syndra looks over at you, Petra. Well, yes. I guess he does. That's why I chose you all. You fight effectively together. Wowwox just grabs out the short bow. Oh! Wowwox! Adricos! Jenkins! And shoots at that zombie. And just shoots an arrow into it. Doesn't really matter where you shoot them because you know it just has no effect, no matter if you shoot him in the head, in the torso, in the leg. It seems to almost be random if they die. You just got to hit him hard enough. The zombie comes up to you, Talon, and sort of trips forward, lands, and its face lands on your thigh, and it just bites straight into a gap of your armor. 6 damage. Orion.
Run in and stab the zombie.
That's a hit. Direct hit straight through the zombie. Just murmurs. The zombie will attack Talon and miss. Petra.
I'll move there and fire Eldritch Blast at that one.
That's a hit. This one, right?
Yep.
Alright, the beam hits it in the shoulder and rips off the chunk of shoulder flesh. Crabendor.
One day that name will update, but not today.
It won't update unless I change it. I'll update.
No, he actually can. He just needs to press the cog icon on the edit token.
I changed it for you. This guy you're attacking? That guy?
I forgot to roll sneak attack in that.
Okay. 10 damage. You hit him straight in the chest. The zombie clambers away a little bit and keeps on pushing forward. Alright, Syndra goes for that same zombie. And this time she hits it and it just explodes with a flash of smoke. She absolutely obliterates it. Talon.
I look behind me. Please be careful with those.
Don't worry. As I said, I used to be an adventurer, just like you. Don't worry, my knees are perfectly fine as well, in case you're wondering.
I was just gonna ask.
Alright, I'll keep on dodging.
The zombie comes in and tries to grab you some more, Talon. And misses. Wowwox is going to take another shot at the injured zombie. And sinks an arrow straight into it. More blood bursts out that wound. The zombie is badly hurt. Orion.
Stab the injured zombie.
That's a hit. You grab the zombie on the shoulder and draw it towards your rapier. You pull the rapier out, blood flicks up into the air, and the zombie's head ambles to the side, but does not fall. And it's going to try and attack Talon. This sort of completely ignores you even after stabbing it in the face. Mrs. Talon. Petra.
I will try to go for the acid splash on both of them. Hopefully it kills the other one.
Alright, the closer one actually managed to dodge out of the way. But this one doesn't, and acid splashes down on its face. A bit of a hiss. Calendar.
Gets that one there.
Sorry, which one? I missed it. That is another direct hit, and there's another arrow sticking out of that zombie. Syndra will try to firebolt that same one that you just attacked. And yeah, her spell is extremely powerful. It hits the zombie with such force, it's almost a little bit scary. It just causes the zombie to explode, and fiery bits of it are launched into the air, raining down like little embers. Talon.
Well, I'm like, on you go, little dweller. Please shoot.
Alright, you swing that warhammer around, crack it in the side of the head, and you just completely smash its head into like a pulp, and it's still alive. Bits of its head just dangling down.
Another worthy foe.
Wowwox is going to take a shot with their short bow and aims for the head. It is, well, what's left of the zombie's head. It's a headshot, but the zombie still doesn't die. Ryan. That's a hit. And you guys just relentlessly attack the zombie. You see this zombie, just a vague reminder of your former tribe and the madness that consumed them, Orion. And you do him the honor of putting him out of his misery, driving the rapier straight down to his chest and forcing him to the ground. We must move quickly, says Syndra, and she starts heading over the bridge.
While I do that, I'll put 5 points of lay on hands on myself.
Alright, as you move up over the bridge, you see a large horde of zombies. There is about 10 of them nearing you, and dozens more behind them. Syndra runs up and tells you all, quickly, quickly, make for the keep. I'll hold these ones. Remember, you must destroy the orb. And as she says that, you see some large creature flying in the air, coming straight towards you guys. And you realize it's a dragon. However, you see only blue scraps of flesh attached to what is largely a dragon's skeleton. It's a Draco Lich. And Syndra, she interposes herself, and as the Draco Lich screams down, it's coming straight at all of you guys. it opens up its mouth and this crackling purple necrotic energy starts to form in its maw. Syndra quickly holds up her hand, and as this beam is going to pretty much wipe you guys completely out, the beam slams off an invisible wall of force. And then Syndra turns to face the creature after saving your lives. As you move towards the keep, you see the broken remnants of the ballista that you used to ward off all sorts of creatures, Orion. You can see the door completely sundered off its hinges. There are multiple bones scattered around here, sundered weapons, and bloodied hay and straw. And climbing up a set of stairs that wind down into the keep are 4 more zombies. Back into the fight. Petra, you're up.
Okay, so I will, seeing the zombies, I will move back 1 and Eldritch Blast the one up ahead.
That's a direct hit, and the beam slams straight into the zombie, knocking it back. A chunk of flesh flies off of it. Tell him.
Just curious. Should whatever this is, what you call the vision thing?
It's a wooden palisade. It's about 15 feet high. It's the remnants of one anyway.
It looked like a freaking fence. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
It's a wall. It is a wall.
Yeah.
It's like a heap of standing logs that have been lashed together to form a wall.
Well, you know what comes next. Dodging again.
Alright, the zombies come up to surround you, Talon. This one tries to attack you, and it misses. Orion, at least for these zombies, they're predictable. They just seem to go towards the closest creature and attack. No strategy whatsoever.
2 very important questions before I dive headfirst into melee combat. Is this ballista, since my tribe used it, I assume I've used it before, is there ammo nearby, and can I turn it around?
You can use it. There's a couple of bolts in there. And it has a +6. It's just a straight +6 to attack, and it does 3d10 piercing damage. I don't actually have a macro for one, but you can just roll it manually.
I would like to do that, please.
Alright.
That's incredible.
It is already loaded. It takes 3 actions to use. 1 to load it, 1 to aim it, 1 to shoot. So you can, it's already loaded, you can aim it, and then someone else will have to use their action to shoot it.
I will aim it and yell over at Calendar. Calendar, help me with this!
Alright, you pick this massive ballista up, just heaving it up with your brute strength, and you just quickly spin around and plant it on the ground, pointing it directly in line of one of these zombies.
An uninjured one.
Okay. Alright, the zombie, they're completely oblivious to any sort of hazard, just attacks Talon and misses. Calendar.
I will shoot it at whatever it's aimed at, I guess.
You can aim it, like, as long as you're aiming in that general direction, you can choose which one you want to attack. So this guy, I think it was. Anyway.
I said the uninjured one, but he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, you choose which one.
That one in the back there,
Alright,
I guess.
yeah. +6 on the attack. And it's a direct hit, does 3d10 piercing damage.
You're forgetting sneak attack and all this.
Well, you don't have any creature next to it to sneak attack.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about that part of it.
Alright, you launch this gigantic bolt straight over to it. And it sticks straight into it, and it just almost rips it into pieces. But, you know, these zombies, they're quite tough. Quite fortuitous. Still alive. Alright, Wowwox is going to jump on the ballista, like riding it like a horse. Yeehaw! And just grabs one of these gigantic bolts, which there are 2 left on the ground, and just locks it into the ballista, loading it. The zombie moves forward, attacks Talon, and completely misses. You just knock it straight to the side. And here comes another zombie. Saunters on forward, scraping its leg along the ground. Gigantic ballista bolt just sticking straight through its chest. And it misses. Petra.
Right, so this one right here, I'm going to try to Eldritch Blast.
You fire a crackling beam over, and it just taps it slightly. A tiny little chunk is ripped off of it. Talon.
Well, I mean, it's not like I'm used to this, but hell, guys, some help would be with this horde would be very appreciated.
You continue to dodge, and Wowwox yells out the same thing. Yeah, some help would be appreciated! Do you have arms? Alright, the zombie attacks Talon and misses. Orion.
I'll spend an action loading it.
Alright.
Is there a ballista button here?
Yeah, I made you one now. It's already loaded, but yeah, you can aim it.
Okay.
And then it still takes another action to shoot it. Alright, the zombie is going to try and attack Talon. They just surround you, Talon, clawing at you, and you're jumping side to side, smacking them in the face with your shield, pushing them back, kicking them. Kalendor.
I shoot it at whichever one Orion has aimed it at.
You can choose which one you want to shoot.
Shoot it at the injured one.
Alright, you've got a ballista button now, so that's the one. And it just completely, it just smashes its head completely off of its shoulders into a pulp. And you just feel the tremendous force whiz by you, Talon. And then the ballista bolt, it goes for like another 200 feet, like straight through the gap at the back of this keep.
This is my favorite thing.
You never got to use the one in the previous campaign.
No, I was so unhappy.
Alright, Wowwox keeps on riding the ballista, grabs another one of these gigantic bolts, and locks it in. This is the last bullet. Last ballista bullet. Zombie keeps on attacking, and they keep on missing. Same thing. Miss. Petra.
Okay, so let's try this again. Hopefully I get better results.
That is a hit.
That's better.
And you fire a beam, it cuts straight through its chest. Guts fall out onto the ground. But the zombie
Dodge.
is still alive.
These zombies don't know how to die.
But you keep on dodging Talon and you're holding them off. Orion.
I'll load it, or I'll aim it.
Okay. Kalendor.
Talon's kind of in the way now, so
Risk it. Risk it.
Oh, he just provides half cover. The zombies are pretty easy to hit. You've got a clear shot. And you launch the final ballista bullet straight through the zombie, breaking off one of its arms in the process. The bolt sticks against the firewall. The zombie is seriously injured.
it didn't see the massive ballista bolt coming.
And you do a sneak attack, and then the rest of the zombie actually just falls apart. It completely collapsed. You'd like just severed one of its major tendons and ripped its entire chest out of its body.
You wouldn't think it, but a ballista's a very effective stealth weapon.
Well, it's not a cannon.
You need to carry one of these all the time.
Alright, Wowwox is going to stay on the ballista and just draw out a short bow. Haha, mini ballista! And tries to
He's
headshot.
growing on me.
Tries to headshot that zombie. And just shoots it in the foot. Their foot is not their weakness, confirmed! Zombie attacks Talon. Misses. And again. And misses. Deflecting many, many attacks. Petra.
Alright, so we're going to. I'm gonna. Well. Yeah, let's try to kill this guy.
They've been like super lucky on their constitution saves. That hits. And
Yeah, that's not gonna kill him.
you try the other foot, Petra, still doesn't work.
It's not the other foot, guys. It's not the other foot.
Talon.
Well, your guys are doing just fine. I'll fend these things off. Don't worry. And I dodge.
Orion.
So I know there's no ammo left, but out of curiosity, how heavy would you say this ballista is?
I think they're quite heavy. I think they're like 300 pounds.
Oh, it's a little too heavy.
I'll look it up. Oh no. No, not that much. Oh yeah, that's way too much. About 50 pounds, we'll say.
Can I take this?
Yeah. You can move it.
No, okay. I can't like fold it up and stick it in my pocket.
It's large. It's pretty big.
I will dive into melee then. We'll worry about that later.
You could take it with you though. It is portable.
That's happening.
All right, you run over to the zombie, you hit it, and you start to work your way up into the shins, and shin still doesn't work. Calendar.
We're all ganging up on this one.
Alright, 10 damage, and that does it, Calendar. You just puncture it straight through the chest, and that seems to work.
Killer of zombies. And I found its weak point, fellas.
Was it the thigh?
Close, bit below. Who's the knee?
Wowwox is going to take another shot, and sinks an arrow into that zombie. Zombie does its thing, and it misses. Petra.
Shooting another Eldritch Blast at it.
That is a crit. Right, you rip off a big chunk of its arm. Pff, its entire shoulder is dislodged, hanging down by a strand of flesh. It's quite badly hurt. Tell him.
Now it's time to take action.
Alright. Whammy time. That's a hit.
Whammy.
And you hit it as hard as you can in the chest. You hear all its bones break, and you just put a big circular hole in the center of its chest. Bits of undead rotten flesh stick to the warhammer head as you pull it out.
Ha, take that, you foul fiend.
Wowwox just yells out to Calendar, "Who is this guy?" That's a hit. And you do Kalendor's tactic of just hitting it as hard as you can in the chest, and that drops the zombie to the ground dead.
I search for the orb.
The orb does not appear to be here. And you just look around, and you see Syndra just with these motes of light orbiting her head. She's flying around, she's flinging multiple spells. She seems to be holding her own against this Draco Lich as they're in this aerial combat. And yeah, you look around, the orb is not here. There is a set of stone steps descending, and you guys get 39 XP. Now, before you head down, as you look over to the steps, you actually notice this strange little doll. It looks like it's a clay doll with no face, and it's hovering in the air 2 feet off of the air, and it just sort of looks over at you all, and then its little arms and legs start to move, and it runs down the stairs away from you guys.
Can I shoot it?
By the time you draw your bow and point to it, it's already headed down the stairs. You just glimpsed it for a split second at the end of that fight. But if you head downstairs, you can shoot it.
Any way I can tell what it was?
It's a clay doll with no face. There's no real other explanation.
This isn't something that like my tribe would use. This is probably like a foreign object.
This is just the weirdest thing you guys have ever seen.
Let's go kill that awful thing.
That's the weirdest thing we've ever seen.
Well, I mean, it's not like we have much of an option, or you want to go fight that dragon.
I was
There.
about to say, let's go kill a doll while our friend over there kills a horde of undead dragons.
Alright.
Yeah, I vote for the doll.
You look at the little clay doll, you look at Syndra in aerial combat, casting like meteor swarms and shit. And then you look at the doll again. Pull out a dagger.
She's fine. They're fine.
She's got that.
You head down the stone steps, and only the first few steps are stone, and then they turn into this creaking wooden staircase that continues to circle around, matching the curvature of a tower keep. And we're going to take a 10-minute break now, and I'll see you guys back soon. Bye, break. Indeed. See you guys soon.
So, penis? Oh, everybody left. Okay.
Well, we're streaming now. We can't talk about that stuff anymore.
Oh, we can't? Is that not okay?
Well, it's being streamed now.
Oh crap! All of the viewers heard me say a bad boy word.
That's what I said. We can't talk about our highly topical topics anymore.
Our highly evolved humor.
What are we meant to talk about now? What's family friendly? I guess I got this.
That's just weird, man. Also, the viewers can't see anything on Discord, right? So.
Well, no, but I don't know how to put a picture into the chat unless I want to attach it to an attack roll or something. You give it a shot, I guess.
Can only the hosts upload pictures? Like, we can't do that?
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, you know how you can put like gifs and stuff with attacks?
Gotcha.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
By the way, anyone here?
Yeah.
I mean, call me a coward, but how much damage did Talim actually tank in this current session?
Well, you got hit for 2. You got probably 15.
No, I mean, in general, just with the dodging, because I think most of the guys would actually get hit by that, and by most of their attacks, so.
Yeah, probably.
I'm pretty sure we would actually be TPK'd in in the first tavern fight. Zombies right off the bat, oh, Jesus. And we're getting, like, nothing for experience.
A zombie's only worth, like, what, 9 XP each?
Yeah, exactly. And, well, I'm guessing 10 with this sub, so.
Well, we just faced 6. There.
Well, he's dividing it to 4, 5 people. I'm guessing
Yeah,
4.
And that's with the extra 10% though, as well on top of it.
Yeah.
They're worth 50 XP each.
Well, Seb knows best. But I'll be honest, these fights are actually pretty freaking tough, considering, I mean, I technically 2 hits and I'm down. Since you got the rage, you can tank way more, but I mean, I'm just an AC tank at the moment. You actually have how much AC at the with the rage, or whatever you have? Oh wait, no, that's Orion, right?
Yeah, but
he has like the same AC, I think, as me, and it's actually impressive.
Zombies are worth the same as a swarm of rats.
But sadly enough, the swarm of rats actually insta-killed Devin.
What does the blue bar mean again? The like blue circle.
Passive perception.
Always forget about that.
Phew. I'm actually curious if we're gonna survive whatever the hell is down there. I mean, if there's a Draco Lich, so there's probably something about that strong down there as well, right?
Unless the thing that was that strong came up, which was the Draco Lich.
Well, maybe there's like undead trolls or orcs or something like that down there. Or undead beholders. Plural, since we're at level 1, you know, at the peak power.
So do undead orcs still get the ability that they if they're reduced to 0, they get the 1? I forgot what their ability is called.
Relentless endurance.
I don't know if they keep racial traits when they're zombified.
No, they do.
Well, if they do, they can get class levels too. So they can be an undead orcish barbarian with 3 different saving throws per hit that would knock them. Would just go back to 1.
Well, I mean, they have what you call it. Well, trolls heal, beholders do their what you call it, eye thingies. Probably orcs do their shit. Well, I mean, at least the big ones do. I know about humanoid things. Haven't really encountered too much of these things as well. Usually it's a swarm of rats that kills me. Or a bad party member's call.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
Good.
Alright, we are back.
I think I found your worst enemy. Yeah, there's a doppel rat. It pretty much just clones itself.
Alright. So, you guys head down these stairs. They're wooden stairs, 10 feet wide, and they start creaking. You can actually see these little slivers of light peering through what must be some holes in the ground, illuminating the stairs here and there. Other than that, it's actually pitch black in here, so you're going to need light sources. So who needs light sources?
I struck a torch.
I can just cast light on somebody who needs it.
I also have dark vision, so.
Okay, I think I gave you dark vision, right?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
No, I was limited to 5 feet, but I think somebody struck a light or something.
Let me see. Oh yeah, I don't know why. I thought I'd given you dark vision. Alright, let me fix that up. You have dark vision now.
Thank you.
Alright, and you're doing light on yourself?
I don't need it on myself, but since I'm always in the front, sure, why not?
Okay.
I cast on my shield.
Alright. Your shield starts to glow. Alright, you head down these stairs, lighting your way, and there's like a stone wall to your left and a stone wall to your right. And you just sort of head down, the stairs creak with every single step. You hear the brittle wood just sort of stretching, and you see that little clay doll with no face. Clay no face. It's just hopping down the stairs. It was it's hovering above the stairs though. It still takes its footsteps as if it's climbing down, but it's a good 2 feet above the bottom of the stairs. The actual.
Can I shoot it?
Stairs. I mean, sure.
Is it moving quickly?
No, it seems to be very playfully just hopping from stair to stair. And, I mean, yeah, if you want to shoot it.
Wait, no, let me try to pick it up first. We can always kill it, right?
You want to touch the possessed doll?
I have gloves somewhere. Hey, get back here, you little shit. Hey.
Alright, you follow it down the steps. And the steps arrive at a landing. And you see a large room. It's all flagstone floor here. Like, this was like a basement or a dungeon of some description. You look around and the ceiling is 10 feet overhead. It's a flat stone roof. And you just sort of peer out as far as you can see into the darkness. And there's no sign of that little doll.
This is creepy.
Look up.
Is there like? I want to say, is there like a pebble or something that I can take and cast light on and just throw us in that way?
Yeah, there's a couple of small rocks on the ground. Alright,
Yeah, I do that.
leaves your shield, and you just you drop a little light just over there. Let me get that. Just a little pebble, and it just illuminates what looks like a smooth stone wall, more flagstone floor, and no sign of the doll.
Ah, crap.
How high is the roof?
It's a flat 10 foot high stone ceiling. It's a little bit uneven, sort of wavy and rocky, but yeah, it's pretty much a flat stone ceiling.
And I recast the light on my shield again because, yeah, scouting tool is scouting tool.
Okay. All right, Kalendor. As you're stepping there, you just you feel something, like little tiny scratch on your head, like you got bitten by an insect or something. Wait, this is when you're over here, or like someone plucked one of your hairs out.
Oh.
Is that thing visible?
You spin around and you see nothing. You just stare at the wall behind you.
I hate this.
Something wrong, Calendar?
Something stole one of my hairs. Where's the turtle at? I think he stole one of my hairs.
You think that our invisible buddy Warlock stole your hair?
You seen how he looks at me? How he lusts for me?
I
You
wouldn't
telling
put
me
it
he
past
wouldn't
him.
steal one of my hairs?
I wouldn't put it past him, but I don't know. Maybe focus on
Hey!
the creepy doll. Yep.
My collection of your pubic hairs are none of your business.
Do we want to go up the stairs or into the rocky cave-like area?
Yeah,
Right,
Cave
so
of
we're
Death.
just ignoring that
Cave
comment.
of Death.
Yeah, looking to the south, you can see some cracks in the flagstone floor, and then just a very rough-hewn tunnel, 10 feet wide, roughly 10 feet high, leading into what looks like a natural cavern, and then a set of wooden stairs ascending up into what looks like another room, and then there is also a sturdy-looking stone door set against the east wall, with multiple chains wrapped around it and a big heavy padlock.
So at this point, we know Orion's people are these people, right?
Yeah.
I will ask him, do you know if your people are known for making traps just in case if we're walking around here?
Bear traps, maybe, but we don't come in here. This was a sacred place. We kind of left it alone. We're hunters. We go after things. So maybe a snare would be the closest thing.
Yeah, where's my snare?
Okay. Also, there's zombies now, so probably not.
Is that a door?
Yep, that's the chain and padlock door.
Oh.
Like
be
a
afraid of
stone
zombies.
door, and there are some heavy chains bracing it together, and a big fat padlock.
Can I pick the lock?
Yeah, you can make a thieves' tools check. Try and pick it. And as you approach it, Kalendor, you can. There's like some horrible stench of death.
Okay, I'm gonna leave this door locked.
That's a good call.
So we want to go south first and then head north?
Cave of Death. Cave
Sure.
of Death is always a good choice.
Hey, Talon, you want to throw a light rock in this place first?
I actually made this little, yeah, you see that tiny little bubble token there?
I did. I'm just throwing it around and then recasting the shield on my shield
Sure.
every time.
Alright, you throw that in, and you see a lot of rubble built up on the corners of the walls. There is a few funguses that are growing around here as well. Some stalactites festoon the ceiling. And yeah, you can hear the sound of like flowing water up ahead. Sounds like an underground stream.
Okay. Water and underground streams makes me think it's a long way. Let's try going upstairs. We know there's a finite.
Yeah, better not to get caught flanked.
Yeah.
Unless it's between Orion and Kalendor, hey? And Wowux nudges you, Petra.
I just laugh.
I don't like this.
You created me! Kill me!
More than a piece of meat. Eyes of fear, buddy.
Alright, as you're moving up the stairs, the stairs are creaking, and you peer around the corner, you see a living quarters. There are 8 cots with 8 footlockers and a number of bookshelves in them. And Talon and Orion, each of you give me a stealth check. Unless you do not want to attempt to stealth, because there are 4 sleeping barbarians. They're just slung over these cots. They don't have any covers over them. They're laying on their backs. Their arms are just sort of sprawled over each side of the cot. They wear these ominous looking masks that vaguely resemble some sort of horned devil, a skull that they have over their faces, and they actually have some battle axes. Some of them actually got the battle axes like in their hands as they're sleeping, and other ones are just fallen off to the side, and they're kind of snoring away. There is a very loud creak from Talon and Orion as you guys reach that top step, and you hear a bit of a grumble. They're both dressed in, all 4 of them are dressed in animal hides. And they start to stir. And they look like your tribesfolk, Orion.
Oh, cool. Well, their title of Cultist of Orcus underneath, I don't see in character, so I'll just say...
They clutch their hand axes. And the bits of their flesh that are exposed take on a deathly pallor, and it's sort of purple and rotten, and they stink like death.
Oh.
And they start to stand up and they sort of kink their neck side to side. And you see like bones sticking out of some of their necks. Orion, the closest one says.
Yes, brother.
You're not meant to be down here, brother.
Okay. Why not?
Don't you know this is taboo? You're going against our tradition, Orion.
Why are you here?
Because we're going against our tradition, Orion. There is a new tribal leader. One that gives us eternal power. We must serve him, Orion, so that our souls are undying.
Well, it sounds good to me. How do I join in on this eternal power?
Oh, well, first you gotta just prove your worth. And Orion, make a deception check.
Alrighty. Hey.
You must take from the god flame and the life waters. And then he sort of points towards the direction where that cave is. And present them to the holy altars. Then you will be granted an audience with the globe of eternity.
Alright, so water, flame, altar. Great. No paperwork or anything? This is fantastic.
And then he sort of points out two secret doors in the walls where the altars are. And you can see these sort of vague glyphs, these like faded inscriptions, circular swirling patterns, designs. One is faintly blue in color against the eastern wall, and one is faintly red in color against this northern wall. And this is what the red one looks like. And this is what the blue one looks like. And Orion!
Yep.
Can you keep it down when you come back? We're trying to sleep.
Sorry.
And he just collapsed back on the bed.
Alright, guys, come on up. Be really quiet.
You feel like you're required to gather some sort of water source and some sort of fire source from the cave.
Uh-huh. So do we want to,
Back
like,
down to the
ring wraith these guys in their beds, or do we want to... Yeah, let's talk downstairs. Good call.
They all start sort of snoozing and making a variety of guttural noises. And you notice one of them like has a limb. It just looks like an arm that's being chewed on that just sort of falls out from underneath the bedroll.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they seem nice.
Yep, just like Mom used to make.
Oh man, arm spaghetti.
Well, listen, guys. All we gotta do is go into that cave, find those two things, go to these secret doors, and get the orb. And then we, do the thing, and then we can leave. And
Didn't he say something about audience?
well, the orb is alive, right? That's what Syndra said. So let's go.
Yeah, I'm in agreement.
Well, sure. Guess if you.
No downside. And if we have time, we may or may not check out that really scary locked undead door.
You guys move through into this natural cavern. You can hear the sound of flowing water off to the southeast, and there's a bit of a cool breeze washing in upon you from that direction. To the southwest, however, you see a very ominous, macabre scene. Human skeletons sprawled out on the ground, as well as a 4-foot-high pile of skeletons intermingled with one another, and another pile through another tunnel to the south. There must have been dozens and dozens and dozens of dead creatures, dead humanoids piled up here. Many must have died.
There's a camping, or whatever that is.
That looks like a stew pot.
Exactly.
There are actually 4 more cultists sitting down, sort of cross-legged, surrounding this stew pot. One of them has this giant wooden paddle, and his body is just gyrating around as he's stewing this, stirring this stew. And there is this sort of meaty smell, sort of brewing from the pot. This aroma is meaty, but somewhat off. And they one of them looks over towards you guys as you move up, and also as Talon throws that light rock, the lit pebble sort of over, and one of them sort of recognizes Orion.
Orion,
Here we go again.
my brother,
Brother.
you have come to us. Come and feast. We would love to have your friends for dinner.
As much as I would love that, we have a quick
Orion,
run. Yes?
you listen to your elders. Sit and eat with us.
Alright.
Shit and eat with it.
I have another idea.
Bring your meaty friends.
Guys, what do you think?
I really don't want to be dinner.
Great. Let's do the thing.
Just tell them we want to do the ritual.
Guys, I have to do the ritual first, but afterward, I would love to eat with you guys.
Make a deception check, Orion. They
There's
start
no way
to
we can do this
grab
twice.
hand axes, and some of them get ready to stand up as they look over towards you.
Orion! Orion!
Yeah, it's me.
You
They stand up.
are missing the point. We have been enlightened. The orb of undeath has shown us many things. It has a god power. It can create life. It has given us a new life. Behold!
And suddenly, 2 of the skeletons stand right next to Orion and Wowox, burst forth, leaping to their feet, with rusty scimitars in their hands.
But I guess the orb didn't show you the vocabulary.
What's that mean?
Exactly.
Complimenting the orb's abilities, and of course desires this power that you've discovered.
Do you know
They all,
how we get the power, Orion?
I'm gonna guess through eating people.
Damn, that was a good guess. That's exactly how we get the power.
And they charge you guys to cut you up into pieces and throw you in the cook pot. You can choose to resist or allow yourself to get cooked.
I allow this.
I
Sunset on
am
the
fine with this. Alright,
The campaign is over.
so this skeleton just slashes its scimitar. Sorry, short sword. It's like a rusty blade with chunks missing out of it. And it just tries to stab Orion. And it misses. Alright, this cultist. This flesh-eating tribal companion of yours, Orion. He has this battle axe in his hand, which he wields two-handed. And he comes over and swings it at you. And he just drives it straight into you. There's like a gleam of insanity that you can see in his eyes through the skeletal eye holes of his mask. And you hit for 5 slashing damage. And the blood just sort of drips down from that injury, and he just smiles, cackles. Kalendor.
Against the skeleton.
Alright, you run over and you drive the rapier straight through multiple bones, cracking them, fracturing them, and spilling them out. Shards of bone go flying away from the skeleton. Okay. The cultist. So I had to reload my page because music's like messing up. Okay. Alright, the cultist, he runs on over. And he takes a dash. Oh no, actually he's going to get up to Wowux. No, he's not. He takes a dash action and runs on over. Charging forward, screaming. Orion.
I will rage. And then I will stab the skeleton.
That's a hit. And when you hit the skeleton, it just breaks into multiple pieces, clambering to the ground in a big pile.
Haha.
Another cultist gets up and runs over, grabbing his battle axe. He charges you, Orion, taking the dash action. Talon.
Just because I can. Where is this thing? Come on. It's so tiny. No, I throw it at the skeleton. And just boop it with a hammer.
The skeleton catches it in his skeletal hand and holds it, looks at it, and then looks up at you. And then he jumps back. Your warhammer misses.
I shrug.
Wowux will draw a rapier and try and stab this cultist. And that's a narrow miss. The rapier just gets caught up in the cultist's armor. Another cultist runs forward. And he's actually going to reach you guys. Coming in with the battle axe, he's going to attack the most appetizing of his selection of targets. And that's going to be Kalendor. Definitely not Wowux. And it's a direct hit. The battle axe just only catches you like a tiny little slit of 2 slashing damage. Petra.
Right. So move there. I'm gonna cast acid splash on this one and the skeleton.
Alright, Cultist makes a dex save first. And he has these like elk pelts piled up on his back, and he grabs one of them and just sort of throws it up, and it protects him. The skeleton's not so agile, and a little bit of acid like hits him on the wrists, and it just completely melts off that the hand that was carrying the light, and it just falls onto the ground. Skeleton just looks down at the ground at it, and then it just looks up at Talon and tries to poke him with a short sword, and that's a miss. Skeleton is in pieces. Alright, the cultist attacks Orion, and he hits. You're in such a rage that even when you're stabbed with this axe, you barely feel it. You take 4 slashing damage, even though that's enough to kill a regular man. Calendar.
So, there is a guy still under that skeleton, right?
Oh yeah, he was hiding.
Damn, you found me.
I'll be attacking him.
And you stab him straight through the neck, Calendar, and this burst of rotten flesh, this odor, this noxious odor, washes over you. And guess what? These guys get a Constitution save. And he does not die. And he sort of kinks his head and turns towards Orion.
Do you see now, brother?
Uses
I'm
Undying
beginning
Soul.
to. This is pretty great.
I don't want to be here anymore, so I'm going to risk that opportunity.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Right.
You and me both, buddy.
He slashes at you, and he misses. Alright, the cultist is going to attack Wowux. And Wowux gets
Abomination.
slashed across a part of Wowux and slashes into her pink fur. Ah! She roars out in agony. Orion.
As a bonus action, I will shift. I don't get extra rage. But I will take a page out of Talon's book and dodge.
Okay. Alright.
Well, I guess I lose my rage, so I'll have to attack. Never mind.
So you like werewolf, werebear? What sort of where are you at?
Werewolf.
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 Alright, so you like sort of cover yourself with this like wolf hide. You become wolf.
No, sorry, not. I messed up. Not a dodge because I'll lose my rage. So I'm gonna.
You have to go 2 turns without being attacked or taking damage for rage. So you got like a whole. You could attack next turn. Yeah, it's by the end of your next turn if you haven't attacked or taken damage that you'll lose your rage.
Awesome. Then I will dodge.
Okay. All right. The cultist just slashes at you and mocks you at the same time.
Orion, fool. We've let go of these animalistic forms. We have a new form now. The form of the undying soul.
And he attacks you. And he misses. Just catch his arm mid-swing. Talon.
Well, second time's the charm, right?
That hits.
Great.
Alright. You swing the warhammer. It only just taps the skeleton, but he is vulnerable. He takes 6 damage, and it just like sends this crack all the way up the skeleton's bones.
Oh, well, alright. Just splendid. Not much else I can do, actually. Kind of great.
Don't listen to him, Orion. They're trying to break you. I think you look perfectly fine in that form.
Hey!
Not that I'm
You know
one
what?
to
Thank
judge.
Ah! And then tries to stab that same cultist. Just die! And that hits. Wowux drives the rapier through the nose hole of the skeletal mask, just driving it straight into his head, and it kills the cultist. The tribal warrior falls to the ground, and then Wowwux blows you a kiss, Orion, and this green wind comes out of its mouth and heals you.
Oof. Okay.
5 healing. The healing word. Petra.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna, I guess, attempt the same thing here.
Alright, acid splash on those two. So I had a little bit of a lag spike then. Alright, the skeleton, he just dodges out of the way. It sort of splashes through all the gaps in his rib bones. The cultist, he keeps on employing this cloak, this hide that he uses. He holds it up and it protects him like an umbrella. And he throws the pockmarked cloak on the ground.
Darn you both.
The skeleton is going to try and stab Wowwux, and it misses. They just start wrestling with one another. The cultist is going to attack you, Orion, and misses. Calendar.
Attacking the skeleton.
You trip up on some loose bone that sort of causes your foot to roll along the ground, and you just end up piercing straight through the many gaps of the skeleton. This cultist is going to swing its axe at Wowwux, and Wowwux dodges. Orion.
I'll hit the one southwest of me.
That's a hit. Alright, you grab him by the shoulder and stick him with the rapier, hoisting him up off the ground a little bit. He seems to just revel in the pain. And he chuckles as blood spills out onto the ground.
I kind of growl and snarl at him.
Alright, the other one jumps on you, wrestles you, axe in hand, and tries to he's grabbing the axe by the handle and he's just trying to push it down onto you. And you resist. Talon.
Well, I mean, Warhammer to the skeleton.
That hits.
Come on, baby.
And you absolutely obliterate it. 20 points of damage. You swing the Warhammer and it just takes it out. It falls into 256 different pieces and lands on the ground.
Steer right.
Though. They're all perfectly.
Okay. Since I now have a tradition of marking my enemies, well, this guy gets the stone.
Okay. The light sort of lands in his helmet, and it's got this bright glow coming out from his eye sockets, and it kind of makes him look more foreboding.
Do not fear. It's of my doing.
Alright, Wowwux is gonna roar. Ah! And as he's roaring, he's going to jump on the cultist, wrap their legs around the cultist, and try and drive the rapier down into his neck. And that's exactly what Wowwux does. And the cultist makes a constitution save. Blood is just bursting out of his neck like a fountain, but the blood is black and rotten. And it should have killed him, but when Wowwux jumps off, the cultist's helm has fallen out. And you see one of your fellow tribesmen, Orion. However, his face is riddled with necrosis. Black undead veins line his cheeks up to the side of his head. And his eyes, they look like the eyes of a zombie, with a glint of intelligence. Just these two white orbs, two pupilless eyes. Petra.
Okay, so since my spell isn't working, I'm going to try Eldritch Blast on that one.
That's a hit. Alright, that actually hits him in the chest, Petra, and you just sear a hole straight through him, like directly where his heart should be. And he kinks his head to the side, and he's still standing. Just reaches in to where his heart is, and he pulls it out, and it's just like this black and wilted heart in his hand. I won't be needing this, and he throws it over his shoulder.
That's badass.
And then attacks Orion. And misses. Kalendor.
I attack the cultist.
That is a miss. Your rapier just sort of plucks into his hide. The cultist, even with this grievous wound and rotten blood bursting out of his neck, he turns and swings at you, Kalendor, and he hits you, just walloping you with the axe. You jump back and it just only slashes you across the chest for 4 damage. Orion.
I'll go for the injured one.
That hits. And as he's coming in at you, you just drive the rapier straight through his mouth, and it bursts out his neck, killing him instantly. And there's nothing you can do. He just dies, even despite the fact he didn't eat a heart. Bursting the rapier through his skull kills him. The cultist is gonna look down at him.
He is not worthy. I will prove my worth.
And he misses. You just deflect the attack. Talon. That hits.
Bonk.
You just crack his skull. It snaps his neck and just throws him to the ground, dead.
Okay. And I'm just gonna look intimidating from behind him.
Wowbox just yells at him.
That's the reason why you're losing. Because you have no heart.
Ha!
Cultist makes a wisdom save, but just completely ignores Wowbox. Petra.
Right, seeing that I actually hit last time, I will do the same thing, Eldritch Blast.
That's a direct hit. And it hits him in the face and rips off half of the flesh of his face, breaking through the helm, and there's just a severed, meaty, bony protuberance coming out the side of his head. And he's still standing, even though it should have killed him. Kalendor. Alright, you come over, Kalendor, and you hit him straight in the chest, throw him up against the wall, and when you pull the rapier out, blood flicks out, sprays on against the wall, and he just slumps into the corner, sort of sitting down, dead.
Yeah. Worse. Anything valuable on those guys?
You search them, and they wear some animal hides. You could wear it as hide armor, but you can't imagine anyone's going to want to buy them. And they each carried a battle axe, and they have some small totems. Just these little like bones and carvings and little trinkets.
I'll take a few of the carvings.
Okay.
I collect those.
Okay, you get some tribal trinkets. What tribe are you again, Orion?
The Grey Wolf.
Grey Wolf, yeah. Little wolf head wooden totem carvings. Wolf tribe. The battle axes are also serviceable as weapons. They're very Spartan. They're just like some logs with some sharpened stone heads wrapped around them.
I light a torch with this fire.
Okay, yeah, you see this cook pot with a bearskin rug in one corner of this cave. It seems to come to a dead end. And then you just see a little bonfire just churning away. The smoke seems to filter through these little holes in the roof. And you strike the torch up.
Well, now I'm very lighty.
Can I grab one of their masks?
Sure, there's a couple intact. And it really just looks like a devil's skull, but you actually realize it's they're human skulls, and there have been some sort of like goat horns lashed onto them to make the appearance of this like ominous devil's skull.
I'm already dressed in tribal stuff, so I'll put on the mask and build all of someone like these dudes.
How good is the bearskin rug?
You take a look at it, and yeah, it's a good bear pelt.
I'll roll it up and take it with us. Well, how heavy is it?
It weighs about 20 pounds. It's pretty heavy.
Not sure if you guys want to take this. It might be too heavy for me.
Pelts are always useful.
As you pull it like away, Petra, underneath it there is 2 vials of this bright blue glowing liquid.
Ooh. Can I tell what it is?
It's holy water. Must be. It looks just like water. But yeah.
It's very holy.
Yeah, you
That's
pop a
useful.
cork off of it and taste it, and it just tastes like water, but the blue glow leads you to believe that it's... Anyway, Talon will identify it straight away.
If we put that on weapons, how long would it last?
Sorry?
If we put the holy water on, like you can put it on weapons, right? How long would it last if you?
You can't put it on weapons because you need like an actual quantity of it. You like sort of smash it on undead. So you can just splash it onto someone next to you, or throw it 20 feet and it shatters on impact. Whether you splash it, like try and smash it on someone pretty much, or throw it, you have to make an improvised weapon attack. So like it'll be a dexterity check, no proficiency bonus. Yeah, if they're undead or a fiend, they take 2d6 radiant damage. And also it'll ensure that a zombie will die.
Okay, so do you want to... I point this out to the others and I say, do the frontliners want to use this?
Oh, yeah.
Or do you want us
Oh, yeah.
in the back line to use it?
Well, I mean, I better not throw. I rather just, bonk.
I can throw better than most.
You should take them then. Save it for when the undead are low, and then finish them off with that.
Well, I mean, we do have a thief, rogue.
Wowwox just like clears their throat and then goes and just sits down next to this campfire.
Nope. Don't eat that. Don't eat that, Wowax.
What? What do you think I am? Some sort of freak?
And pulls out some rations and starts chewing on them.
I think we should take a breather. Sing a song for your fallen comrades.
like that, but we are in enemy territory. Is that wise?
Relax! They're sleeping!
Sure.
Singer, toss a coin to your barbarian!
Wow,
wizard
starts
friend will
singing.
Could really make something of this song. Imagine if my song would empower our wraths to give us resolve.
We're really gonna take a short rest while she's fighting alone an army.
Well,
You saw
She'll
it.
be fine.
She can handle herself.
She'll be fine.
Famous last words until an army just breaks into here.
let's do it.
Alright, everyone can take a short rest. It may not even be a whole hour. You just take a quick rest, recover your wound. I'm not too fussed about timekeeping when you're level 1. Just, you guys need healing, you can take it. Alright, you
Screw
quickly
it,
rest
1
up.
HP.
And yep, there's a full pot here of soup if anyone is hungry. No?
No, I don't think so.
And you guys take a quick rest, catch your breath, and stand back up, ready your weapons.
Let's go to the water one.
Alright, you step back over the pile of skeletons. Not
Did my
entirely
torch
sure.
run out?
It would have. You can go and light another one.
Yeah, I do that.
Alright, as you step over the pile of skeletons, you're not sure if they're going to jump back up and come alive and attack you, but they don't. You can hear this gushing stream, just a low, dull roar off to the east. There are a collection of exotic-looking fungus growing against the eastern wall here. Some of them have blue caps, some of them have maroon caps, some of them have grey caps with red swirling patterns, and several smaller purple ones growing at the base of their stalks. Up ahead you can see a 10-foot wide clear stream with some salmon sort of flittering around trying to jump up what looks like a small lip. There is a drop about 8 feet down and like a small waterfall cascading over this drop, splashing into another section of the river and funneling out somewhere to the south. There is just some sort of thin cracks in the wall here in which water is escaping.
The water itself, does it look like it's pure or does it look like it's contaminated?
You can make a nature check.
I have no clue.
Yeah, you take a sample of it, Petra, you look at it. It looks clear. There's a little bit of sediment in it. But yeah, you take a tiny little taste and it tastes fine. You're not really sure if it's going to like be bad or not. As far as you can tell, it's not like diseased undead water or anything.
Diseased undead water.
Yeah. Alright, you throw that pebble into the stream and the stream starts to take it away. And there's like a little fork
Big.
in the road. And it heads off to the east. Alright, Orion, it's quite slippery here. If you want to jump down, you will need to make an acrobatics check. Or an athletics if you want to climb. Athletics will sort of slide down safely. Alright, you end up slipping and falling, Orion. And you take a little bit of damage. It's not a great fall, but there are some sharp rocks. You take 1 point of slashing damage. Cut yourself on a rock as you slide down. All the wall here is like it's jagged rock, it's slick with moisture and slime, and Lime. Slime and lime. All the iams. As you get down to the bottom of this little waterfall, you see what looks like a charred skeleton, completely blackened. And it's almost as if it has its arm extended outwards, like trying to grasp it. Some sort of hope.
I have a rope. You guys want to tie something up there so you guys don't slip down too?
I have a rope as well.
I think we all have rope.
Fair enough. Do you want to tie it up there?
Sure.
There's nothing to really tie it onto, but someone could hold it.
I tie it to, yeah, I tie it to Petra.
That's fine. I'll stay up here. I can do just fine up here.
Exactly.
I'm not sure if Petra would be able to support your weight, Talon. So make an athletics or an acrobatic check, because I'm pretty sure you're just going to end up dragging her down with you. I don't think she has very high strength. I'll give you advantage though, because you do have some sort of leverage there. It does come to a dead end here as well, by the way. The river forks into these sort of narrow little slits in the wall. It's like 1 or 2 feet high. You wouldn't be able to fit in there. But the fish seem to be able to swim through.
I'll try to wade across the water.
Okay, and Talon? Did you make an athletics or an acrobatics check?
Oh, I needed to make that. Okay.
Yeah, for you. Alright. Petra's not really supporting your weight too well, but you dig your boots into the ground and you climb down the little drop. It's not very far. Alright, you get across the water. It's not very deep at all. Just a few feet deep, and it's very cold and just sort of splashes against your legs as you wade across. Your boots get a bit wet, and you see this skeletal person. He's face down, blackened, and his hand is reaching for what looks like a couple of vials that is just resting on like a natural stone shelf. And the vials are like the exact opposite of what the holy water looked like. They look similar, except there is this sort of fiery red liquid in both of them.
Okay. Quick look around for anything, stinky traps, anything that would set my skeleton on fire.
You can make a perception check. It looks like something in these vials could be flammable, because there is fragments of shattered glass around the base of this skeleton, as well as 2 like sort of burnt, shriveled up little corks.
I will grab the vials then.
Okay. When if you show them to Petra, I'm pretty sure she can identify them straight away as alchemist fire.
Nice.
Similar to holy water, you can throw it in the same way, but they take 1d fire damage instead, and they keep on taking the damage every turn unless they use their action and make a dexterity check to put themselves out.
Alright. Well, Petra, I'll pass these 2 alchemist fire, and can you use your extra water skin to fill up with water?
Sure.
And then let's go back to sleeping, guys. Go to that hidden doors and see what's up.
Okay. Another athletics check will be needed to climb up. It's a little bit harder to get up than it is down.
I will have these other 2 help balance me, so that way they can get up a lot safer.
Okay.
And I don't fall.
Yeah, that'll make it a lot easier and give them advantage. Alright, tell them you climb the rope, you get straight up. Yeah, WoW Ox helps. And athletics check. Supposed to be athletics for climbing, but that's fine. You rolled like
Oh,
super
okay.
high anyway. You easily get up. Alright, you return to the large cavern, and you've got some fire from the bonfire and some water from the stream.
Can I look at these mushrooms real quick? Anything
Yeah, you can make
useful?
a nature check to try and identify them, Orion.
I'll try as well.
Alright, you can have advantage, Petro, because you're sort of like, you got alchemy and whatnot. Alright, examining them, you just see them as mostly harmless mushrooms. Some of them could be like an edible food source. There are, yeah, just a variety of native fungus to the area, similar to some fungus that people survive off in the Underdark. But you do see one particular mushroom, Petra, that has some healing properties when it is consumed, and it works like a healing potion. It's called a green cap, and it gives you the same healing as a healing potion, except it can be eaten as a bonus action. There's only one of these such mushrooms right there, that little
That's
green
nice.
one.
Dope.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and pick it and ask Talum or Orion if they want to use this.
That thing is actually gold. I mean, if you
Yeah.
can eat it as a bonus action instead of your action.
Yeah, I know you people are in the front, so it's possibly better for you to have them here.
Rock, paper, scissors in chat. Tell him.
Alright, let's roll 20.
Do you want to? So who rolls at 20 die higher?
Yeah, who rolls higher on d20?
3, 2. Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna. It's all yours, bud.
What do you roll? Alright. If you can roll a
I'm not gonna-
21, you can have it.
It's all yours, man. So here is a.
I'll give you a handout for that green cap as well. Things like this will go in like the appendix if you're looking for like the handouts. Oops, green cape. Green cap, there we go. And
So
this particular one will go on someone's inventory, so I'll put that in Talum's inventory.
do we want to check out that locked door before or after we try the hidden doors with this stuff?
If we're gonna go into that door, I would want to deal with the people upstairs first, because again, if we're too loud, they might come down and investigate.
Yeah. Here's the problem. They think I'm gonna join. We're gonna join. So we're gonna get an audience with this thing. Destroy the. So should we just go up there and try to stealth attack them? So that when we're trying to destroy this thing, they don't get mad anyway.
I'm okay with that.
That alchemist fire might come in handy.
Well, sad part is we already got experience for those guys.
Yeah, but I.
What are you talking about?
He's talking about the experience that we had with them.
Yeah, but we didn't get the experience for these 4 guys though.
Oh, I'm very
With the scalp.
experienced.
Okay. So who would say that they're unstealthy?
Unstealthy is my middle name.
So don't go up the stairs.
I can stealth. It's just not gonna be it's better than probably yours, but yeah, not better than probably Kelnord.
If you listen to my song, then perhaps you'll be a bit quieter.
Mine's pretty great. Calendar, you want to go up and sneak up with me after we listen to Warwick's song? And then we draw them down here. If we have range, Petra, you can stand across the room. When we draw them down here, just attack them.
That's fine. If you want to hold them at the stairs, so you're only finding 2 at a time.
If you're planning to like kill them, you feel like if you're able to like sneak up on them, you can pretty much kill them in their sleep. Like, it should be very easy to do that.
I reckon I got this, guys. Send me up.
You want to do all 4 by yourself.
Wowwox grabs you. I'm coming with you.
I'm also really stealthy.
Well, if you two want to try, that way he doesn't go alone. That'd be fine.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Wowwox gives you a signet ring. It's a signet ring.
Here.
Oh,
This belongs to Lord Dukinson. He's real. And
He's real.
that's all you need to know.
Can you inspire me? Wow, just
Or both of us. That'd be great.
just me. Can you inspire just me?
Take that signet ring. And Wowwox looks at you.
You got this, Calendar. You don't need my inspiration. You've got the signet ring of Lord Dukinson, for Christ's sake.
Perhaps, Kalendor, you can inspire her to inspire you.
I will give you a toenail if you inspire.
Make a persuasion check.
Can
What kind of toenail? Hell no!
off the toe sort.
Forget about it. You can do this.
That inspired me enough. That counts as bardic inspiration. His belief in me.
Listen to my schwam. It's not an inspiring schwam, but there you go.
Do we make the stealth check now?
When you get to the top of the stairs, you guys, whoever's stealthing can make a stealth check.
Here we go. Shit.
You that top step is just so creaky.
We rolled a 3 and a 4.
Who's there?
The cultists start to wake up.
Who's there?
Just me. I have the stuff. We are going through the secret doors.
Oh, really?
Yep.
You didn't have a change of mind and decide to kill the others, did you? And fight off their undead skeletal servants, did you?
Nope.
By any chance?
They invited me for a lovely meal. We talked. We ate people, and it was delicious.
You're not just trying to sneak by us so you can perform the ritual, confront the orb of the undead, destroy it. By a chance, are you?
That is oddly specific, but of course not. No.
Make a deception check.
-1.
Okay. Doors there and there.
Hey, thanks. Hey, you have a good night rest. I'm sorry. We really got to get this stair like oiled or something or fixed. I don't know how you make a stair uncreaky, but have a good night's sleep.
Oh no, we're awake now. Well, we ain't getting to sleep. Oh, we gotta change shifts now. Right.
Great. All right.
We're just gonna go over to that camp where you didn't kill the others, and they're on dead skeletal servant.
We'll tell them I said hi, okay?
Okay.
And they collect their weapons and they start heading down.
Okay, I bonked them as soon as.
What? No, they were leaving.
You gonna attack them?
I mean, they're gonna come back.
We
Yeah.
can set up when they come back.
You are going to
Okay.
realize that they're going to make that discovery pretty quickly, but you've probably got about 30 seconds or so.
I want to take a bed or two and then put it like at the top of the stairs,
And we'll start stacking beds.
and I'll get up my bow too.
Start stacking beds up and form a
Yeah.
barricade. What is this,
Yeah.
Home Alone? You like throw some throw some Christmas decorations down.
Dude, they have some big cans up here.
We've got a collection of Matchbox cars that you can.
I throw my light boulder.
Alright, that'll give half cover. You just quickly grab a
Great.
couple of beds and prop them up like a little barricade. And you, do you guys want to like try and hide? Get a group
Yeah.
stealth check. And you may be able to surprise them. But they're going to be coming back like... They come running.
Orion! Oh my! I mean,
And,
Did I-
I crit this one, of course.
let me check their perceptions. Alright, you guys... I still need to make Wowwox's stealth check. Oh no, you guys are fine. Because, oh no, 3 of you need to succeed. So this is for Wowwox. Alright, you guys do not surprise them. They see you guys poking your heads out from the top of the beds, and they're at the bottom of the stairs. I'll roll initiative.
stealth is my middle name.
Orion!
They growl like animals, and one of them runs forward, and he runs up, and he just swings over the top of the bed at you, Orion, with his battle axe. And
Oof.
he hits. He sort of pushes the bed forward, only just catches you for 2 slashing damage. And next cultist runs forward, and he runs up and attacks Talum. And he hits you as well. They just cut straight through the beds for 4 slashing damage. Talum.
Yeah. Well, I mean, screw it. Just gonna bonk.
That is
The
a
bed.
miss. He just interposes hides.
Huh.
Alright, this cultist is going to run up, and he's just going to come up here and dodge for now. Just sort of jumping from side to side, snarling like an animal. Orion.
Steady step, stab.
That hits. And you hit him straight through the bed. The rapier just sticks him in the neck. He chokes, scoffs, and he just sort of falls down the stairs. Instantly killed.
I'm awesome.
Wowwox is going to mock the dodging one. And says,
Oh, you got out on the wrong side of the bed? Literally.
and then the cultist screams, "Ah!" grabs his head as if he's trying to shoo away some horrible voice. Petra.
I'm going to aim Eldritch Blast as that one.
That's a hit. And he prays for his dark devotion and his undying soul, but no. You hit him straight in the chest. The beam continues on past him, and he just falls down the steps.
Yeah, Carly killed something.
Instantly killed. Calendar. Alright, you line up the this guy, and even though he's dodging, you hit him straight in the neck. And his head just sort of wavers from side to side, blood is just pissing out from the wound, and he just turns to you, kinking his neck. He's still alive. And next cultist runs up, and just is going to dash up to here. This cultist's body is just sliding down the steps in a trail of his own blood. Talon.
Well, time to bonk. Or not.
It's a mess. She wrestles with the bed frame. The cultist moves up and still sort of struggling with this psychic energy in his mind, and he attacks at disadvantage at Talon, sorry. And it's a miss. He slashes through the bed instead. Orion.
Towards the injured one.
That hits. And you hit him straight in the chest and kick him back. He goes sliding down the stairs, and the bed just falls over and crashes down on him as well, splacking him straight through his eye socket.
Great.
Wowox is going to draw a short bow and shoot. And miss. Just hits the roof. Petra.
Right. Eldritch Blast to the last one.
That is a hit. And it crashes into him, knocks him back. You hear a couple of bones breaking, but he's still standing. Kalendor. Alright, you draw a short bow, and your arrow intercepts Wowox's, and Wowox has a glint in its eye and looks at you. We crossed shafts! The cultist is gonna swing at Orion. And you're hit for 4 slashing. Tell him.
Well, again.
That is a miss.
I really should just grab another shield.
Orion. Alright, with great anger, you just lift the bed up, throw it over his head, and drive the rapier forward, just stabbing him straight through his face. And then you kick him down, he lands on the bed, and he goes for a ride all the way to the bottom of the steps.
Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Good job, Des.
Oh yeah, for the previous encounter, I don't think I gave you guys the experience, but it is 66. And I'll give you guys experience again for those guys, another 22.
You are a kind and benevolent god.
Alright, looking around, there is this sealed metallic door set against the western wall. And you see 4 bookshelves lining the northern wall, 8 cots, 8 footlockers, and 2 rugs sprawled across the ground, and then these glyphed doors. And that's going to be it for today's session.
Awesome.
Oh,
That was fun.
That was near-death experience.
Thanks, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's
A little homebrew intro to the campaign.
Level 1 is always scary.
level 1
Inches away from
is
death.
level 1 is you are born to die.
You guys will definitely hit level 2 by next session, I'm pretty sure. So have in mind what you're going to get, even though you don't get much. And if it's like mid-session, you can just use the character mancer to very easily level.
Sweet.
And
Yep.
looks like you guys will have your other companion next week as well, Mr. Turig. So it'll be interesting to introduce him. And I'll see you guys then. Thank you all very much.
Later,
See
Seb.
you then.
Later.
Later, guys. Everyone else watching the stream, thank you guys very much for tuning in, and we'll be streaming this campaign same time every week. So I'll see you guys then. If anyone's got any questions about anything at all to do with the campaign, I've run it I think about 4 times, so feel free to ask in the YouTube chat, and I've got a Discord channel as well that you could join if you're not already in it, and yeah, I'll post a link for that. See you guys next time. Bye.